Bachelor, 3 weeks, and I'll get back with you. And I
Wild oats, I'm going to go live at the Westin with Tammy for 3 weeks and, put me up there and, we'll take care of business. But I've always said that. I always said I'm moving into the Westin once the kids become the teenage years and start the ladies' days and all that kind of stuff. About time to move out. Not going to lie, about time to move into the Westin. So Tammy, get a room ready for me. I'm moving in.
Yeah, because I don't participate in Lent. I'm not
Catholic.
Either, yeah. But I don't think, do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. But traditionally, that's where it originates, I think. And so, I don't know, man. I look at food, it's probably one.
Mm-hmm. But is there a certain food that you're a glutton for? You always are kind of eating?
I would say
you need
anything
to get rid of?
fast food and everything qualifies.
Okay.
So, Chipotle would be considered that.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Going to, I don't know, Jersey Mike's would qualify for that. I don't eat a ton of fast food.
Right.
But
Quick Trip, would you count that?
Yeah, that would count.
Would be for me.
Oh,
yeah. Quick Trip where you go in there and get a roller dog or something like that.
Or anything. I'm going to give up Quick Trip, Yeah. Because it doesn't matter where you get gas. Every place is $2.89. Has been for 4 weeks. Blows my mind.
It's been that way since basically the first of the year. It has not moved.
I've never seen it go this long. We're on a great streak of $2.89.
It's true. It has
when
not
will it
changed. Yes.
And
when's the summer travel season starting? That's when it'll go
Now,
up.
my only 4 sources are all 4 Quick Trips because I go 3 different ways to work. But the one in Lee Summit on 3rd Street and 50 Highway, $2.89. The one on Knoll in the corner right by Top Golf, $2.89. The one on Metcalf that is on the right side across from McDonald's, $2.89. Mm-hmm. This one up here by the station, $2.89.
Oh, yeah, you go to every one. Every once in a while, you'll see a $2.88 somewhere, but no, it's been $2.89, and it's held steadfast, except there's an Exxon or a Shell or something down here right off the highway that's $2.93, but you're right off the highway, so I understand there's a little bit of a surcharge on that one.
And Lent is 6.5 weeks.
Oh, okay.
FYI.
6.5 weeks.
So you'd be 6.5 weeks without being married.
Yeah, that's even better. So $2.89, yeah, not bad. But you can't give up getting gas, but you can give up going inside and spending the money inside.
You do not, I don't know, maybe I don't know. I'm just saying, because I don't eat sweets, so that's not fair. But I'm going to give up ice cream.
Right, yeah, that's the thing.
I
don't have
an ice cream cone in 6 weeks, dude.
Yeah. Well, I gave it up.
Pizza, maybe I probably eat that once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not to me a challenge. I want to challenge myself.
Right. Something that you could challenge
Somebody's
yourself
I'd give up weed, but not a chance.
Right.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Let me know how you feel on Friday at 3.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. And see, it's I don't drink much anymore, so it's not I'm going to give up booze for Lent or something like that. I've kind of eliminated all that kind of the gluttonous stuff out of my life.
Somebody says giving up KU basketball for my mental well-being.
A lot of people are. Look, I gave it up during COVID. I was talking to Vip about that this morning. He's complaining about Hunter Dickinson in the NIL. I said, now you know why I haven't watched this stuff since COVID. It's not interesting.
And to be fair, they probably played the second to third best team in the country last night on senior night in their house.
Yeah, right.
Where Fran Fischello was like, I don't like senior night. Guys are crying, getting emotional. They just don't play well. And
he didn't say that,
and then
did he?
LJ Cryer had 18 in the first half. I'm like, senior.
Oh, my God. No, Fran didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
He
I watched
he's so cringe. Do people still like him? I'll give up Fran Fischello for Lent.
I
mean, seriously.
Well,
I don't watch college basketball, so I can't. I've already given up Fran Fischello. But if I was a college basketball fan, I would give up Fran Fischello for Lent. Senior night is one of the best nights. People love senior night. I've been to how many senior nights at Allen Fieldhouse over my years, and it's great, but you don't really have seniors anymore. That seems to be the problem, too, right? You have senior night, and it's like the team manager who's been hanging around that nobody knows, and so nobody stays long enough like we used to back in the day to have those senior nights, but you honor those kids who put in the 4 years, and you celebrate those kids who put in the 4 years because it's very rare.
I was like, or the opposite effect, guy gets jacked up, because Cooper Flagg last night balled out, won me.
Well, that's his senior night last night, right?
And the crowd started chanting one more year.
Yeah, right.
And his dad was in the crowd. He's like, no, run it back. And everyone's just kind of because he did the best thing ever. He teased that he could come back.
Absolutely.
And the guy, it's so funny because one of the announcers is like, he should come back. And the other guy goes, that's a terrible business decision, man. It's like, teach these kids business. He's like, it's a terrible business decision because, obviously the NBA draft, it works. The higher you get drafted, the more money you can make. So, a guy that gets picked first and a guy that gets picked 10th, significant money difference.
Right.
He will be the number one overall pick.
Right. There's nobody in Europe that we don't know about that the NBA's in love with that they're going to pick and tell everybody he's the next great thing. Not over Cooper.
Not over
okay,
Flagg.
good.
That's your future face of the NBA.
That's also been a big problem with the NBA is everybody that gets drafted plays in Europe, and nobody knows who they are anymore. They're not college kids like it used to be. And so that does have so Cooper Flagg being the number one pick this year in the NBA is great for the NBA, great for Cooper Flagg.
That's their next brace they're going to lean on.
And they should. Is he already the new face of the NBA?
I mean,
No.
Who is? Because nobody wants it. But also what he can do, since he's making a ton of money, he can just be like, oh, I don't want to go to Portland, Memphis, or Wizards. I'll just stay in college for the year and hope another team,
Yeah, that's true. You see, well, I don't know. When does the lottery get announced versus when do you have to declare? Like, can you wait to see who the number one overall pick is? No,
never mind.
No, I am not going to Charlotte. No chance. Well, actually, for him, Charlotte may be actually.
Yeah, they'd have him and LaMelo. Him and LaMelo would be fun to watch.
But also being the local ties with Duke and everything. Charlotte would lose their minds if they were able to get Cooper Flagg.
See, all you gotta do is just talk a little NBA and start to blossom.
But here's the conspiracy theory. We saw how they fixed the draft lottery for Patrick Ewing. We saw how they fixed the draft lottery for Wemby to go to San Antonio. And now are we going to see how they fix the draft lottery to make sure Cooper Flagg goes to Charlotte? Because if he goes to Charlotte, they're printing money. I guarantee you they're printing money. They will sell season tickets. People will go crazy to go watch that kid play because he's at Duke. He's a local kid. It's perfect for them. Charlotte will get the number one pick in the lottery.
Tinfoil hats. Speaking of drafts, worse for some, but not for Kansas City. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
I just want to say how awesome it is to have Bob Fescoe and Legend Likens on every morning to start my day. I freaking love you guys.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, here we head into the springtime, and we hear talk all the time about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues. But today I want to talk to you about love, because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. ED can cause a major relationship issue. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. And ED, as we know, is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, even breakups. And you know what's disturbing about this? More men who suffer from ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. Heartland Men's Health has treatments that work when the pills or herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%, and some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men right here in Kansas City. So schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff on hand, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Kick off the Royal season with 96.5 The Fan at Hollywood Casino. Join us for an exclusive 96.5 The Fan roundtable featuring Michael Massey, Josh Vernier, and other special guests on March 28th at 6 p.m. Don't miss your chance to get insider insights before the season begins.
Basketball fans, don't miss the MIAA Basketball Championships March 5th through 9th at Municipal Auditorium. 18 games over 5 days, the nation's best small college basketball tournament will feature some of the nation's best Division II teams. Get your tickets now through Ticketmaster and visit odyssey.com/965thefan/events February 20th through 24th to register to win free tickets. MIAA Madness, March 5th through 9th. Bring your A-game.
At the Home Depot, it's our business to support yours. Partner with your go-to source for building your business. We can help you streamline your operations by supplying the whole job from start to finish. Any questions? Our Pro Desk is ready to answer the call with supply sourcing, custom orders, large equipment rentals, and more. Elevate your efficiency and take on more projects with the partner you can trust. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Hi, it's me, your USPS Ground Advantage shipment. Just left the warehouse and hitting the road.
I know. Just got the notification.
Great. Smooth sailing so far. I'm almost there.
Yes, I know. I get all the updates.
Made it. Safe and sound.
I know.
Well, did you know I was with USPS the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Keep your business in the know with the USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit USPS.com/in-the-know.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
From fast breaks to buzzer beaters to block parties, there's nothing as exciting as basketball. With Underdog, you can bring that excitement to wherever you watch. Playing on their app is as easy as choosing higher or lower on player stats like threes made, points, rebounds, and so much more. I love the Underdog app. So get those selections right, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. It's so much fun. Millions of fans have won over billions on Underdog. Will you be the next? It's simple to join the fun. Join in by signing up for the Underdog app today using promo code BOB, and you'll get a free selection as part of your first cash entry, plus up to 1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by KRT Muscle Cream on the Missouri side, inbound I-29 from 435 into downtown, about 15 minutes. Checking 435, you're moving at posted speeds or thereabouts all around the metro. A body of motion stays in motion until you feel that first muscle tighten. KRT helps you get back in action with all natural pain relief in just minutes. Learn more at krtrelief.com. That's krtrelief.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. Just doing some off-the-air conversations. Looks like Wemby made $24 million with his first 2 years.
Yep. $24 million a year
No,
or
12 and
12.
First 2 years guaranteed, third-year option, fourth-year option. Normally, if you're balling out,
yeah, you're going to
by the
pick it
time you
up.
get to the third year, the team's like, we're just going to give you a contract.
I heard that conversation yesterday about Jalen Daniels, quite honestly. Like, a guy like that, like in his third year, I know he's not going into his third year, but if you're going into your third year as a quarterback, do you pay Daniels a little bit early so you don't have to pay him as much,
Yes.
right?
Well,
you buy out a couple of years of his contract, right?
So to have that question in live action, that'd be like, do the Houston Texans pay CJ today?
Yeah, that name came up as well.
Mhm.
CJ Stroud was kind of how they got to that conversation. And I would, and I would if I'm
If
Houston.
you're CJ or if you're Houston?
If I'm Houston, if I'm
Yeah.
CJ, I'm thinking, well, let's see what the offer is. Let's have this kind of conversation. You know, they kind of did that with Mahomes. They paid him obviously early before they needed to pay
Year 3.
Patrick, which is CJ Stroud going into year 3.
But to be fair, Mahomes didn't play his rookie season.
That's exactly right.
So it was like he just did it right.
Yeah.
Like he did 50 and 5,000, then did another balling year and said, "What do you guys think?"
Right.
Because I'll let you know what I know, and then
Yeah.
you just tell me, and then that's when the check comes out. It's like just we'll put a number.
But they
we'll turn
also had a
away.
willing participant with Patrick Mahomes as well, too.
Yeah.
I mean, like Mahomes wants to be here, obviously wants to create that legacy here, and he was willing to do what it took because he's following in the footsteps of Tom Brady, whether you want to admit it or not. Tom Brady always took less money. Patrick Mahomes is taking less. I mean, what's Dak's salary cap hit this year? $89.9 million, twice of what Patrick Mahomes is
I thought it
making.
was 90.
Yeah, twice of what Patrick Mahomes is going to make this year at $45 million. Dak is on the hook for 90.
Quick research. Sorry to do this to you. What do you think Cooper Flagg's NIL money is? Over or under $9.5 million?
Under, I'm going to say.
Because he's the first athlete to be NIL'd by Gatorade.
Yeah, I think he's going to be under because I thought that kid that's getting $7 million from BYU kind of set the record for the most. But I could be totally wrong about that, but that just stands out in my mind. I think Cooper Flagg is probably a little bit less than that. I think
double digits sounds like quarterback money.
Yeah, but have we even seen anybody get double digit money yet on the football side of things? I don't know.
Sure.
Did he?
He made like more than $10 million, didn't he?
Okay.
He was the number one in NIL in football.
I don't know. We'll probably look it up and we'll all be like, oh, that's all they make in the NIL. So, yeah, if you're Cooper Flagg, you decide to go because you
value $3.3 million for Cooper Flagg.
So there you go.
And he's number one in college basketball.
There you go. So that's why I said I thought that $7 million was kind of a key thing for that kid that's going to BYU next year.
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders, $4.7 million.
Yeah,
so
the numbers aren't as big as we thought, right?
No, they're not.
And so there's
what
really
did Quinn. What did Arch Manning make? I think he was actually number one.
Did he make big bucks?
I think so. He got like a ton of money.
And $4 million.
6.6.
Jeez.
6.6 for a guy who hasn't played.
Yeah, but $6.6 million for that, brilliant. Take the money and run, right?
Yeah.
But now if you're Cooper Flagg and you're thinking about, do I stay for $4 million or do I go for 25 that's going to be guaranteed? I'm taking the $25 million guaranteed money. I don't care if it's in Portland or where it is. That is good time money for you to get. And so you got to go ahead and do that. And that's the business side of sports now. I mean, that's where we're living. I told you guys earlier, I was talking to a guy yesterday at the J, my man Vic, and he's like, I don't understand this kid from Missouri that's hitting all these threes that went to Iowa State. He grew up in Wichita. How did he get out of Kansas? I'm like, money. It's dollars. Like, guys aren't staying at home and staying in state because they want to be a Jayhawk or a Wildcat. They're going to see, they want to be a Benjamin. They want to go where the dollars are, man.
So Texan gave up what they're giving up on Fat Tuesday. Not really with, I guess they're giving up, they want me to give up golf analogies.
Okay.
And then I'd give up listening to Dusty.
Wow, all right.
And then they said Costco gas is $2.65.
Okay.
Or you can use your High-V points.
Yeah, use your High-V points, and stock up there. Get your gas points at High-V and get it down even below that. You save up those High-V gas points, my man. I'll tell you what, you can get that thing to roll back like $1. Woo, baby!
Respect the text from the 620. Carson Beck in Miami got $4 million and a Cavender twin.
Fair point.
Winning.
Fair point. That is winning. But for some of those guys like Carson Beck, do you guys envision him as an NFL player?
No.
And be honest with me.
Because I want to do another lunch?
No,
6 months ago, you didn't think Jackson Dart be in a top 10 pick.
Yeah, but no,
and I don't think he will be a top
Carson
10
Beck
pick.
will be a top three round pick.
Top 3 round pick next year. Okay. So, yeah, you go back to Miami, you take that money, you do your thing down in college.
What if he goes to Miami and has a decent year?
Yeah, but he could.
He was the number one quarterback going into this season.
Going into last season, right? Yeah. But who knows? Change of scenery could be great for everybody. It's like, any professional athlete, sometimes a change of scenery is really good. For guys like that, you see those fringe guys on baseball teams that have no options left. You say, all right, we'll trade for this guy. We'll throw some cash your way. You give us him. Just kind of a change of scenery type trade, which essentially is what that, the Jeremy Guthrie trade was for Jonathan Sanchez years ago. That was just a change of scenery trade. Ended up working out great for Kansas City and not great for Colorado, but that was a change of scenery type trade, and it worked out well. So sometimes you need to just make those moves just to give somebody an extra opportunity to kind of catch their breath, reset a little bit, and maybe Carson Beck missed one of the Cavender twins when he was at Georgia and decided, I need to go to Miami, be close to my girl, and then he's going to play better.
Yeah, every second I was away from her, I'd miss her.
Yeah, how much better has Mac gotten since his girl moved to town? It's night and day.
Pasta Lord. The 2013 NFL draft considered the worst NFL draft in the history of NFL drafts, correct?
That's what we're saying, yes, right?
That's what Max spewed out yesterday.
Yes.
And we started to look at it. We're like, all right, what do we get in the 2013 draft from a Kansas City Chiefs perspective?
Eric Fisher was our number one pick that year. We had the number one pick that year. Eric Fisher was the number one pick, and there was one other person taken in the first round that you could have even made a case that they should have taken over Eric Fisher, and that was Lane Johnson, who came in at number 4 to the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Solid dude.
People talk about that draft, and, why couldn't we do better than Eric Fisher? Because there really wasn't anybody better than Eric Fisher in that draft other than Lane Johnson.
Luke Jokel was in that draft.
Yep.
Bust.
Yep. You know who the 3rd overall pick was in the 2013 draft?
No chance.
Deion Jordan, Miami Dolphins. The only reason I know is because I'm looking at it. I don't even know who that is.
Michael's son. One of the 7. That's Jimmy Butler, that guy, Anthony Edwards.
Right.
And then in the 3rd round, there was a pretty good player taken by the Chiefs.
Right. Travis Kelce.
That's right.
Travis Kelce. Like the 2013 draft was legitimately one of the worst we've ever seen. And the Chiefs got Eric Fisher and Travis Kelce out of that draft. And And when we talked to Binkley about this, Mike Catapano came from that draft. And you know what Mike Catapano turned into? Charvarius Ward.
So 3 solid players out of that draft developed for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right, exactly. It's a pretty good draft, right?
The last best left tackle you had.
Right.
The best tight end in the history of the NFL.
Right.
And a quarterback that you won a Super Bowl with and then didn't have to sign and then beat him with the game-winning touchdown right in front of his face.
That's exactly right.
Brutal.
Pretty good run there for Kansas City in 2013. But, I mean, some of these names, like Star Lotulelei. Remember him? You remember that name? We were all talking. Oh, the Chiefs should probably look at drafting.
Is he dead now? Or is he in jail?
What?
Something happened. Something drastic happened to him.
Did it? Oh, my God. I don't know.
Something. I'm pretty sure he's either in jail or dead.
Oh, okay.
Tell me I'm wrong, please.
You may be wrong about that. Justin Reed's brother Eric was drafted 18 to San Francisco that year. DeAndre Hopkins, 27th to Houston that year.
Straight out of Clemson.
That's right. Cordarrelle Patterson went 29 to the Minnesota Vikings, the Minnetonka Vikings.
You know what? I'm going to give a little credit to Cordarrelle Patterson because that guy kind of made it throughout the NFL. He had that like random 2-year stint with the Falcons where they made him like a running back.
Yeah.
And he was a good returner. And then he went to a couple other teams. He was all right.
29th overall pick, though. I mean, if that's a guy you find in the third round, you're like, that's a good pick.
Yeah, definitely did not.
He was great in college, though. You got to think
Of
about
course,
like his,
Where'd he go?
Yeah.
Balls. He really was good.
And then Matt Elam was the 32nd pick that year in the draft. Alec Ogletree was also taken by the Rams. How the Rams were picking 30 that year, I have no idea.
There's only one quarterback?
I
think there's one quarterback.
I'm trying to think who.
Well, yeah, the Chiefs didn't take one.
No, because there wasn't one. That was the year Josh wanted Geno Smith as the quarterback, right? But who else were you going to take that year? There was no. It was kind of like this year's quarterback draft, right? There really isn't that number one guy that's coming out that's worth taking, in the first round this year. Who was the quarterback taken?
E.J. Manuel.
Oh, my God, that's right. E.J.
Manuel.
Yeah. He played for Florida State or Clemson or some school? He played for a college. I know that.
I guess it was Junior Seavi who's in jail. Or
Junior Seavi, that guy. Oh, my God.
Sorry.
He's dead.
Sorry to Star.
Yeah. You're still alive.
Yeah. Star Lotulelei.
You're doing well.
Junior Seavi is dead.
Florida State, nice pull.
Yeah, it was Florida State,
nice
right?
Pull.
Yeah. He was a guy that I'll never forget when they drafted Junior Seavi, and they had him at training camp at River Falls, and there's like 4 reporters there.
He's a big dude, right?
The story gets really good, okay? You want to pop down the music for this one, right? And so they draft them. And back in those days, Carl Peterson used to basically love to fight and spar with the agents about getting guys in the camp. They never signed anybody on time, right? It was always one of those deals where, we're not going to get the guy in camp. Is he going to be signed or not? And it never worked, right? And so they finally get this guy signed, and they bring him in. And Bob Moore, who was the PR guy at the time, one of the great humans of all time, is like, all right, you guys are going to interview this guy. We just signed him. Here he is. And boom. And it's just like 4 reporters standing. It's nothing big outside of a cafeteria. Outside, it's a nice day. Birds are chirping. This guy was so scared of the media. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. He was like I couldn't answer the questions, didn't know what to do.
Like Ricky Bobby?
No, just totally there was nothing going on or something. I don't even know how to describe
my hands.
Right, but it wasn't even like that. It was just like oh my God, this guy's got issues, right? And so that year in training camp, there was one night where they all had the night off, and I want to say it was 04-ish. It was definitely Vermeil's year because I believe Lawrence Tynes was involved in one of the incidents, or maybe I think it was Tynes at the time.
Sounds about right.
There were 3 incidents that took place in the Minneapolis area that night with Chiefs players. There was something that took place in Stillwater, Minnesota. There was a bar altercation there. There was a bar altercation in downtown River Falls.
Is this when Lesnar was there?
No.
Okay,
no.
This is after?
This was like Brock Lesnar was with the Vikings, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when he beat up Dante Hall. This was not the same year, I don't think. And then there was an incident at Bozeman Mine on downtown River Falls, and then there was an incident at like a Marriott in downtown Minneapolis, and that's where Junior Seavi comes into this. This guy was in this hotel with a couple of other Chiefs, and I don't remember who they were. And they were basically like taking the hotel furniture and just destroying it, like just beating it over the wall and shattering hotel furniture like in the lobby. And so this guy was so big, the cops couldn't get him down. And so it was the first time I'd ever heard of the term a spit hood. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a spit hood. This guy, Ciavi.
I mean, I got many thoughts on what that could possibly be.
Was like he was so spitting all over the cops as they were trying to wrestle him. So they put this hood over his head that they call a spit hood.
Yeah, they do those in Con Air.
Oh, my gosh.
And so that was Junior Ciavi in a spit hood.
They Hannibal Lecter him.
Pretty much, yeah. Though they pretty much did, yeah. And he never really did anything.
No, those are. I always used to watch. What was it like, Jail, or whatever that show was? It was on like at 9 o'clock at night on like AMC, where they would just like have like it was like Cops, but like the Hustler version, like a little more risque. And they'd have guys that would go in there and spit, and they'd put like the little like mesh bag over.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Oh,
so I want to say Greg Wesley may have been part of something that night. I think Lawrence Tynes was on the team that year, and it was Bozenmine. If you go back and look all that up, like it was like an August 3rd of like 03 or 04, and there were 3 incidents that took place on that off day. I don't think many people were happy the next morning.
What was that secondary? Greg Wesley, Eric Warfield, William Barty. God, no wonder they're getting 40 points a game.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, you didn't have anybody getting to the quarterback because CFE was in a spit hood.
That's kind of intimidating. He had a spit hood, and Laramie Tunsil had a smoke mask.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Who turned out better?
Tunsil.
Of course he did.
Yeah,
CFE's dead, and made good money in the NFL. CFE never did anything.
That's crazy, though, to think that, because that was because I remember we were talking about Clancy's last week. I was at Clancy's that year they took Kelsey in the 3rd round. Because I remember it was like tied in out of Cincinnati. And then, of course, like, you know how that happens with the NFL draft. Like, as soon as someone's drafted, everybody goes to their Google and starts looking up, like, who this person was.
Right. Size, stats.
And the two that are always the most, like, polarizing to me was, like, Travis Kelsey immediately, like, looking up him. And then when the Chiefs drafted Tyreek Hill. Like, everyone found out who he was the minute he was drafted. And, like, the fan hate was everywhere. And I remember when Kelsey was drafted, I was like, all right, this guy's a monster. Oh, he played quarterback in high school. And then it was like, he slipped in the draft because of weed.
That's right. And he was kicked out of the University of Cincinnati. Remember, weed was verboten 10 years ago. Like, oh, my God, you were a problem child.
And then that's when, like,
now it's like, here you go.
If you go back and listen or watch the New Heights podcast when they had Andy Reid join way back, like in their first season, he talks about that whole ordeal where he's like, Jason's like, yeah, Andy called me and was like, can I trust your brother? And can I put your reputation on the line to basically put him on this team? He's like, yeah, my brother's fine. He's a little hothead. And then Andy goes and talks about how he was like, oh, man, this guy was he was a hothead back in the day. I had to, like, check him a couple times. And he's joining the locks. And
I missed it.
Oh, yeah, just a hair lord.
Yeah.
And
had to readjust.
Yeah, so, and I remember listening to that, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then I, like, go back in time when I think about whenever I was at the bar, like, looking up Travis Kelsey, like 2013 draft, and I was like, this guy might be all right. And then we watched the career happen. It's like he's much better than all right.
I mean, I just, and I know I say
he was
this
the next
lot.
after Tony G.
Yeah.
Like, those were the shoes he had to fill.
Well,
Tony
Moeaki.
Yeah, Moeaki.
Let's not forget Tony Moeaki had that one catch in the back of the end
one
zone.
One of the greatest Chiefs catches of all time. San Francisco, opening weekend, middle of the end zone, stretched out.
Rookie year, you're like, oh my God, they got Tony G's replacement. That
Straight
was the last.
Iowa. He was the first Iowa tight. Was he Iowa?
Yeah, oh, yeah, he's an Iowa kid. Yeah.
He was Iowa tight end number 1. And then it was Kittle, and then it was Laporta, and then it was all these guys.
It kind of was.
Noah Fant.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah.
He was the worst of the bunch, right?
Damn it.
And he had that one play, and we're still waiting for Tony Moeaki to make.
If a catch has ever sold you, that one had
that
to sold.
That one was incredible.
Nobody that day was like, hey, he got lucky. Let's see what he can do the rest of his career.
Right.
Everyone was like, there's like
That's
the Leo meme. That's the guy.
You know how many Moeaki jerseys were sold after that catch? Like,
one of my buddies named Darren bought it.
You still see people with Moeaki jerseys rolling the parking lots, man. I still see those jerseys. I'm like, man, you got suckered in on that one catch. We all did. And then Tony Moeaki never really amounted to obviously anything. But the Travis Kelsey thing, I mean, I say it all the time. Andy Reid probably affected his career in life more than any other player in the entire NFL. Now, Michael Vick may have a conversation about that because Andy Reid, went and visited him in jail and brought him out and gave him that second opportunity. But Andy Reid stuck with Travis Kelsey when he very well could have cut him from being a hothead, as he said. I mean, Andy Reid was this close. We talk about it all the time. This close to say, Travis, you're done. And Travis finally allowed Andy Reid to kind of be his mentor, if you will, and followed what Andy Reid said, and he's blossomed into the best tight end ever. It's one of the great career arcs that we've ever seen in the NFL.
I think Travis Kelsey is a name that comes up in this next topic because the Chiefs are $17.6 million over the cap. They have to be under that in 8 days.
They'll get there.
Does the Mahomes and Kelsey reconfiguration contract happen, or is there other ways to get around?
Well, I don't know exactly the ins and outs of the funny money and how that all works, but this is probably something that is going to happen. I'm reading something that they may have to convert roster bonuses to signing, but that's money you got to pay out right away. Again, It goes back to why we need the new stadium, why we need more revenue generating, because according to Spot Rack, if they convert Patrick Mahomes' roster bonus to a signing bonus, $25.8 million, Clark needs to write that check today. That needs to go right into, that's a Western Union to his account. Chris Jones, $12 million. Travis Kelce, $10 million. So you're talking about 25, 35, 45, 46, 47. Another $10 million bonus for Joe Tooney, 50. So Clark has basically got to get $60 million in checks scratched over the next 8 days to get to where they need to be for salary cap purposes, right? The money that you use for that has got to be real cash. That's not funny money, salary cap money. You got to have that cash on hand. And if you don't have that cash on hand, you can't do those type of deals. Now, I'm sure overall monies for the Hunt family, that's a drop in the bucket. But when you talk about just the Chiefs operation, that comes out of that budget. How do we generate more money to have that cash on hand? We sell stadium suites. So that's why it's important to continue to generate as much money as you possibly can for these franchises. So when you get to this point of the year, they've got the cash on hand to make the moves necessary to free up the room so they can go out and make their roster better.
I think this is one of the 3 times where Brett and Clark sit down 1v1. I think there's this time of the year, because this is, I always try to figure out what's his stronger suit, Mr. Veach, and that is his ways that he fluctuates the salary cap and always seems to get it right, or the draft. And obviously some guys get paid more. We're like, do we really need to give that guy much more? But look, 3 Super Bowls, AFC Championship game every single year. He's doing something right, whether it's better in the draft or whether it's with the contracts. It works. I think he also sits down with him during the trade deadline, and I think he sits down with him before the draft. And I think those are the 3 1v1 interviews that you have with the big boss.
Do you think they do that on Zoom, or do you think they actually do that person-to-person, face-to-face? For sure Zoom?
Yeah, because one's here.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think Clark comes up, or he goes down, and they meet in Oklahoma City for a cocktail or something? I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, or they go to Cincinnati and have a chili-flavored ice cream.
They could do that as well, too, which is absolutely disgusting. No, but I think you're probably right about that. Look, I don't think there's a lot of overlording, for lack of a better term, with Clark Hunt. I think he's got the right people in place, and that's obviously what a leader does. You put the right people in place, you allow them to do their things. But when your leader says, okay, Clark, we need $60 million, are you cool with that? You probably got to get that stamp of approval, from the owner in order to go out there and spend that money. Yeah. Because, again, that is direct deposited money. That is not over time. That is not fake. That is real hard cash that you need to pay these guys in 8 days.
Because all 3 of those are like major business decisions, right? Like you figure out like who's going to get this money to where we can create space and get underneath the line.
Right.
The other one is, all right, who do we like in the draft that can actually give us a chance to like fill a gap that we need something that we, might think about paying in the future. You look at McDuffie, Karlaftis, guys like that. And then you look at, okay, like, hey, we might need a couple guys. Who do we want to go out and who's expendable and who's not?
Right, exactly.
And those are the 3 times where I think they have their, otherwise it's like, go do what you want to do. I trust you with everything else. But before you do these 3 big things, let's have a 1v1 combo.
And I wonder how much Clark really gets involved with the draft, too. I mean, that's one where if I was the owner of the team, I'd be like, you guys know this more than I do. I'm going to trust you. If you want to talk, we'll talk. I'll give my opinion maybe, but at the end of the day, you guys handle that. I don't know that anybody played for Alcorn State, guys, so you go knock them dead.
Yeah. It might be getting cold tomorrow, but it gets hot as we do the hot corner here next on Fescoe and Dusty. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
913-586-7965. Call in right now and tell me how much I suck.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to be looking for something fun to do this weekend. Maybe you're looking for something fun to do in the middle of the week. You're going to go foaling. That's what you're going to do, because foaling is perfect for everybody, whether you're a kid, whether you're an adult, whether you're on a date, whether you're hanging out with the guys, whether you're hanging out with your girlfriends, whether you're hanging out with your work friends. It doesn't matter. Foaling is perfect for everybody because it is football plus bowling plus bar, and that is Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. It is the coolest thing you're ever going to do. You're going to set up bowling pins, and you're going to throw a football at them. You're going to knock them down, and you're going to re-rack, and you're going to play again. You're going to experience the boncorn. Knock down that middle pin all by itself. The boncorn goes off. You put your name on the wall, and everybody celebrates you. They've got an unbelievable bar, a great beer selection, and when you have a party or any event at Foaling, you cater your own event. That's right. You can bring in food from anywhere at Foaling. And Foaling is located at 435 and State Line. Monday nights, of course, is Jeopardy Bar League night. Every 7 o'clock at Monday night, Foaling has got Jeopardy Bar League put on by the aficionados at Geeks Who Drink, and you can bring your team of 6, weeks or fewer and have yourself a good time at Foaling. So check them out at 435 and State Line or reserve a lane at FoalingKC.com. That's FoalingKC.com and get your foal on.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold once again telling you about our friends over at Centric, and we've all been dealing with this brutal weather in Kansas City. Maybe you work outside and look, you've just had enough. Well, you can start a brand new career with our friends over at Centric because they allow you to advance your career on your time with their flexible schedules.
You choose your curriculum, go with that new career path, and stop worrying about what the weather will do for you. Call our guy, Russ Mondry. He's been with Centric for 16 years and will be with you to guide you every step of the way. Go to Centric.com now.
Looking for the perfect engagement ring? At Shane Company, we know this is an exciting time. It can also be overwhelming. Customers say this a lot. Where do I start? How do I choose? At Shane Company, this is where the magic happens. Since 1929, we've been experts at helping customers find the perfect engagement ring. We invite you into the design process, help you pick out the perfect diamond or colorful gemstone, and choose a style that speaks to you. Come see us in store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
After you use Bounce Dryer Sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer Sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
In the time it takes you to actually board that flight from Group 8,
Now boarding Premier Altitude Elite Club members.
you could have bought a Hyundai on Amazon. Yes, that Amazon, where you buy everything else.
Mid-tier Altitude Elite, feel free to board now.
So while you're waiting for them to make up new boarding groups, you can order your dream car and the dealer will have it ready in no time.
Now boarding groups 1 through 7.
Oh, so close. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. Limited availability, pickup through participating Hyundai dealer in select markets.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have over 20 years of experience servicing the KC Metro. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, as well as commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow Service. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Missouri side, inbound I-70, just a bit sluggish around Nolan. Past that, no delays into downtown. 71 northbound, a little slow from 75th up towards Gregory. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Welcome back to a soggy Tuesday here on 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe, Dusty, Mac with you. on 96.5 The Fan. Announcement at 9 o'clock coming up in a couple of hours that you want to be here for. We'll have Josh Verner join us. And about an hour from now, we pay our respects to one Jay Binkley as it is his birthday today.
That's right. Happy 53rd birthday to our friend Jay.
Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm. Feliz cumpleaños, Senor Jay. Mac, have you watched Full Swing yet? Got to get you on that, man. I think you guys will enjoy it.
I think I would.
I think you really would. Because it's not just rounds of golf.
Yeah.
It's highlights.
All right.
Yeah, just highlights. And then it gives you backstories where you're like, you know what? I really like this guy. This
gives me like something to root for behind the swing itself. Yeah, I like that.
Like season 2, you'll be like, Whitman Clark. Kind of like that guy.
Okay.
Season 1, you'll be like, Joel Damon. Really like that guy.
Okay.
Season 3, you'll be like, see, I get it about Bryson.
Wow, that's a long show. I was thinking like the quarterback, like 4 episodes, and everybody fell in love with Kirk Cousins, and that was that.
Season 1 and 2 are 8. Season 3 is 7 episodes.
How much do you think that show got Kirk Cousins paid this past off season?
Well, it's happened 2 other times before the show.
That is true.
He's like the king of this.
And he's about to get, he's just going to continue to get paid.
They may not franchise Darnold, by the way, too. And so if they don't franchise Sam Darnold, I mean, are they really serious about keeping Sam Darnold in the fold, right? I would franchise Sam Darnold just because I could possibly trade Sam Darnold.
I think he just comes back and then gets paid even more next year than he would this year. That's just my opinion, though, man.
With Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Because if he plays again with Minnesota and they're successful and he has another decent year, then it's going to be like, all right, that's 2 years in a row. Maybe it's more than just Kevin O'Connell.
Then you got to bounce on J.J. McCarthy, don't you, at this point in time? Like, I think I don't
or
think
you do exactly what we've been talking about with these quarterbacks, and you're like, you know what? He's been 2 years under Sam Darnold. He knows now Kevin O'Connell's system. This is year 3. We've got 3 more years under contract with him. We don't have to really pay him. If he pans out, he pans out. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. You trust your head coach to develop another quarterback.
All right, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, but I guess you can give him a couple of years. But I mean, you got collateral to trade if you're Minnesota at this point, right?
Yeah, the unknown is the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign him to a 3-year, $25 million average deal, and then see what happens this year. If he's great, great. If he's not, then you can kind of finagle, maybe start JJ for a game in the end of the season. He's great. You can trade JJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have a lot of options.
I saw Justin Jefferson said, doesn't matter who the quarterback is, I'll make him great.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what I love to hear.
That's awesome. But he's
Yeah.
like one of those guys that can make their quarterback
Yes.
great. And there's not many of those guys out there. There really aren't,
Nick
man.
Mullins, Josh Dobbs. We've seen him with a lot of trash.
Yeah, like he's done a lot to make guys good, right?
Yeah, you get Kirk Cousins paid.
Right, exactly.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
So put that in your quarterback documentary and smoke it.
And he got Kirk wearing chains and stuff. I don't know if that was just him, but.
And shirtless.
Yeah. Kirk go chains.
I wonder if at Atlanta they got him to Magic City.
Ooh, I bet Kirk Cousins went to Magic City already.
I don't think so.
There's a Kohl's next door. He saw it and waved as he went in to use his Kohl's cash on some new jeans.
You think he used his Kohl's cash at the strip club?
He tried. Yeah. If you take Kohl's cash
Khakis are
here,
on sale.
it's 20% off Kohl's.
There's a small section where you can use some outfits for tonight's theme. It's business attire. Hot Corner, a.k.a. Tough Tuesdays in the NFL season. Baseball season, we call it the Hot Corner.
Yeah.
Bob, go ahead and start.
I'm going to start with the weathermen in the area today. They're on the hot seat, if you will, the hot corner right now.
Man.
Can't get the forecast right. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Everybody's all over the place. But more importantly, the other one that I'm going to put on that hot seat list as well, because I'm going to do 2 this morning, has to be Hunter Dickinson over at the University of Kansas. I'll be honest, guys. I don't know that I've seen a more hated college basketball player in this part of the country, in this city, than what Hunter Dickinson has become. He has become the poster child for like everything that is wrong with Kansas basketball over the last couple of years. And so that guy you could put on the Tough Tuesday list, the Hot Corner list, almost every single week, because every game that goes by, no matter what happens, I get at least one text of somebody complaining about Hunter Dickinson. I'm like, stop watching. If it's bringing you this much anger, Vip, stop watching the games. But Hunter Dickinson seemingly, no matter what happens, no matter how they lose, no matter what goes on in a game, it's because of Hunter Dickinson.
A lot of people in Kansas might be anti-Mayo guys. Zeke Mayo has 1 3 and 13 turnovers in his last 3 games.
That's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot more.
Yeah.
It's not just Hunter Dickinson, man.
I prefer Miracle Whip over Mayo. Actually, I don't.
I was going to say, that's tough. That's a tough
that's a
Tuesday.
tough
take.
Tuesday.
You ever see the generic Miracle Whip at the grocery store? Salad spread or something, or sandwich spread, they call it. Oh, I mean, it just
Gross.
Miracle Whip is just
No, but in
nasty.
New Orleans, you get mayo. No need to refrigerate.
No.
On the table in an 80-degree day.
Yeah, sitting out in hot, humid conditions, swamp-like conditions. Here's your mayonnaise. How long's that been out of? Forever.
That mayonnaise looked like a spit hood.
I mean, when we hit that thing on the table and it just jiggled like a bowl full of jelly, I'm like, oh, Oh, my God.
Like, what's this for? She's like, everything now. We're like, no, it's not. Like, no, it's not.
No.
Take that back. You put it on my food, I send it back. My Tough Tuesday goes to Will Howard. You see his combine? Again, I don't watch the combine, but he was one of the worst combine participants. It wasn't good. I can see the highlights via X, just missing people left and right, not making accurate throws. And then, of course, the tweet I saw was Will Howard's combine, wolf, stock, down emoji. And I was like, oh, boy. Or it's Shador Sanders.
I think it was Shador, one of the other quarterbacks who tweeted, was like, hey, it's tough to throw to guys that you don't usually throw to. Give Will Howard some credit.
Yeah, I mean, his combine was tough.
Shador Sanders defending Will Howard.
So, one of the, I think it was Sanders.
Which if it was him, kind of debunks why he's also on a Tough Tuesday or on a hot corner, because he had his media availability, and almost unanimously they came back and they're like, yeah, he's just blatantly arrogant. I don't know if I want this guy. It's like, well, you kind of should have known that coming in. Like he was going, that's like part of his
It actually
shtick.
came from one of the assistant coaches that was interviewing him, one of the quarterback coaches in the NFL who has a top 7 pick, said he was arrogant, and then Josina Anderson got mad and attacked that coach. So that's the fight that's going on right now. Anonymous coach who had an opinion about somebody versus Josina Anderson, who's saying that he's not arrogant. It doesn't matter what you think. It's how people perceive how you come across. And if this quarterback, running back, tight end, whatever, was doing an interview and he came across as arrogant to an assistant coach, that's how he perceived it. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Josina's making it a big think piece.
She really is.
Big race piece, think piece thing.
Yep.
She looked really good at the Super Bowl.
She's beautiful.
She is.
I don't know if she does the colored contacts thing, but she looks great.
She do whatever she wants. But yeah, the salary cap today ends at 3:00 Central Time. That's why the Sam Darnold conversation goes back.
You got to franchise guy. I mean, you got to tag the guy today. Today's the day.
Yeah, you got to do it or don't. Obviously, T. Higgins was a big name yesterday, but yeah, no, the Shador Sanders thing. Like, I get it. Like, it's assistant coach. Like, arrogant to me is a very vague term because there's arrogance and there's confidence.
Right.
And I mean, I think Shador has a lot of both. Right. I think his whole life, Deion's probably done a lot of giving both of those things to him. So how some people see arrogance could just be how somebody is confidently carrying themselves. So I mean, again, you should have known when it comes to Shador, this guy's going to be a little hot, right?
But also your definition of arrogant, maybe not my definition of arrogant.
And that's why I think it's vague. It's that guy's arrogant. Ooh, that guy? No,
okay,
he's not.
So what does that mean? Explain why you believe he's arrogant. And I will say, if you are going to call a guy arrogant, number one, say who you are. Number two, tell everybody why you perceived him to be arrogant and say, well, he came in, he didn't, care to answer the questions, he thought he was above me, whatever the case may be, however you want to decide that somebody's arrogant. But I would like to know what makes Shador Sanders arrogant. Or as Dusty said, is he just confident and you can't discern between confidence and arrogance?
I understand if he asked him a question, he's like, I'm not going to answer. That's a stupid question. Okay, that's
fine.
Stupid.
Yeah, right.
But if he's just yeah, I deserve to be the first pick. I'm the best quarterback in this draft, and I'm damn good. He's so arrogant. It's okay.
Yeah.
What do you want him to say? I don't know.
But you also, don't you want that out of your quarterback to think he is the best? Because when you think you're the best, you have the opportunity. You got to have the mind in the right mindset, right? You can't go in thinking you've already been beat, you're no good, it's not going to happen. Oh my God, I'm terrible. Then you're never going to have an opportunity for success. You go in there feeling good about yourself. Hell yeah, that's what I want out of my quarterback. Somebody's going to captivate the room.
I think Mina Kimes says it best. You want your quarterback to believe in Jesus or believe they are.
And
Shador thinks he is for sure, and that's fine. But you got to be a coach who wants that.
Do you have a tough Tuesday? Or a hot corner?
Yeah, I just had the Dallas Mavericks one, but we can do that later on in the show because we're up against a break.
Okay.
So no worries.
Darn.
That's a good one, though. We'll get to it.
Yeah, the Dallas Mavs. Selling their team. Coming up on the other side, the good and the bad with the Royals here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, springtime is here, and that means it is time to get my yard looking awesome, and I've never been able to do it by myself. I have tried and tried and tried, and finally, I'm just waving the white flag, putting my arms up and saying, Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, help me get my yard looking like it's the best on the block, because at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, that's what they do. I've been trying for at least 3 years now with the trees that we took down to get my lawn to grow properly, but it is not working, and so instead of just trying again and again and again, I call the professionals professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They're college-educated professionals. They have degrees in making sure your lawn looks the best on the block. And that's what you get when you hire the folks over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Controls. You see those iconic blue trucks. They're all over town, right? And they're always parked in front of the best lawns in Kansas City. They've been providing award-winning service since 1985, and they offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. Mention you heard it right here on 96.5 The Fan. You'll get a free estimate and up to half off your first application. So expect the best. Don't wait. Call today. Or better yet, just visit them at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay leaseback program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Want a golf course quality lawn? It's easier and more affordable than you think with TrueGreen. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, TrueGreen brings pro-level expertise straight to your yard so your lawn can look like a fairway. Right now, you can sign up and get one free application. Plus, with their price match guarantee, you know you're getting the best value. And if you're not satisfied, TrueGreen will come back to make it right. Don't wait. Visit TrueGreen.com today to get a free application and let the pros handle your lawn while you enjoy the results. Offer ends March 10th. Restrictions apply.
CareNow Urgent Care has 15 Kansas City area locations open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, CareNow Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
This report is brought to you by CareNow Urgent Care. Find one near you at carenow.com. Royals coverage sponsored by Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer and Jersey Mike's Month of Giving.
Join us in supporting Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer and Jersey Mike's Month of Giving. Visit any Casey, Topeka, or Lawrence Jersey Mike's and donate. You can also donate through the Jersey Mike's app. Help the fight against childhood cancer with Braden's Hope and Jersey Mike's.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
70 westbound heading in on the Missouri side, sluggish from Lee Summit Road over past Nolan. 71 northbound, a little slow from 87th up towards Gregory. 435 westbound, slow rolling from Warnell to the state line. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Hey, Royals fans, it's Vern. The Hot Stove Show is back every Thursday night at 6 o'clock from spring training all the way up until opening day. This is your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals. If you want to be having a great time. You want to be loving the fun. You want to see all of the excitement. This is the place and we're the one. If you want to be yelling like crazy for the guys you love to see, come on out and join us. This is the place you want to be. We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals. We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals. If you want to see the best of the big leagues, you want to be loving the day. Come share the excitement of the stolen bases and double plays. This is where it happens. Come on and sing.
Come on.
For the very best in baseball, this is the place you want to be. We're where you want to be.
Never gets old. Never gets old. Baseball with the Royals, which will be hopefully soon a rendition remake with the old number 5.
I'd like to see that. Hey, if you're looking for some baseball activities tonight at 6 p.m. at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, free admission. They're going to be sharing some stories of black players in Royals history and have artifacts on hand for show and tell. Guests are going to be able to touch some of the stuff of the artifacts. You're going to be able to hold the World Series trophy from 2015. Free admission tonight. My man Kurt Nelson, Bob Kendrick, all those folks going to be down at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum tonight, celebrating baseball, celebrating the Royals, celebrating everything baseball-wise. So get on down there tonight at 6 o'clock. Free and open to the public. Go hold that World Series trophy and then get ready to hold another one this year.
Two of the best when it comes to the almanac of baseball.
No doubt, man.
You can have your Wikipedia. I'll take Kurt Nelson and Bob Kendrick over Wikipedia.
Oh, any day of the week. Any single day of the week, man. They're awesome. Love both of those guys to death. And so tonight should be a lot of fun. If you're looking for some baseball-related activities, get on down there. 6 o'clock tonight at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum.
Good news, bad news for the Royals.
Yeah, a little bit of good news, bad news for them. We would start with the good news, right? Isn't that where we
always
want to start?
Started bad news.
You want to start with the bad news?
I always go bad news.
Okay,
Rip the Band-Aid off and then heal it.
Okay, so we'll start with the bad news on the Kansas City Royals. I was looking at Yahoo yesterday, and they had a list out. And again, these folks study baseball more than all of us do. They had the under 26 power rankings in Major League Baseball, basically ranking every roster of the players of 26 years of age or under. And I'm scrolling through, and I'm looking for the Royals. Like, where are the Royals on this list, right? And they come in at number 14 on the list, I believe, is where the Royals were on this list for talent of under 26 years old. And obviously it's led by a guy by the name of Bobby Witt Jr., who's a pretty darn good baseball player, if I do say so myself. And so I'm scrolling through. Where are the Royals? Where are the Royals? All right, there's Bobby Witt Jr. And then this is what they said about the Kansas City Royals when it comes to 26 and under on the roster. And it basically said if it wasn't for Bobby Witt Jr., the Royals would be dead last on this list. They don't have enough talent in their minor league system. They don't have enough young guys that are legitimately good under the age of 26. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, that's a pretty big shot at the Kansas City Royals. Why are they so low, on this list? Why are they so down on this list when it comes to under 26-year-old players? And I'm sorry, the organizational talent under 26 years old. And they said if it wasn't for Bobby Witt Jr., the Royals would be dead last in organizational talent. And so I hear that, I read that, I'm like, man, that's kind of harsh criticism of the Royals, but it also got my wheels spinning a little bit. If that's the case, and Yahoo baseball people who look at this game differently than I do, don't believe that there's enough young talent in this system to move forward, then this has to be an all-in year, right? If you're the Kansas City Royals, you have to be willing to give up almost anything in your organization in order to get the reinforcements necessary to make sure you win this year. Because if you don't have the talent under 26 and it's Bobby Witt and literally nobody else according to Yahoo, then you need to be all in this year and be willing to make those moves to make this ball club the best that you possibly can. And I do believe the Royals are in that mode. I do believe that they want to go out there, be very transactional, find another bat. The problem happens to be, who are we dancing with at this point in time?
Right, and their prospects, young kids. You have, obviously, Jack Caglione, number one prospect in your minor league system, right. 21 years old. Blake Mitchell, a 20-year-old catcher who a lot of people have a lot of aspirations for, and then Carter Jensen as well. And then Ben Caderna, the right-handed pitcher in Double-A, who's 21 years old. So you have potential. It's just it's unproven.
Right.
And, to play devil's advocate, let's say Jack Caglione gets called up some point this year and absolutely lives up to his expectations, where a lot of people are starting to give him kind of the mold of a Jim Thome type player, 6'5", 250. Jim Thome, I believe, was 6'4", 250.
Jim Thome, big fan of the show.
Nice.
Big fan of the show.
The Tomes. Man, that guy hit some majestic bombs at college.
Dude, he's the nice. You love Jim Thome.
For
you
sure.
Absolutely love Jim Thome.
Remember that time he hit like a 470-foot shot at Coppin Stadium? That was awesome.
He'd be like, Dusty, let me tell you about that pitch. It came right over the plate. My eyes were so big. I didn't want to ruin the Royals fans' day, but my God, I had to swing and hit that thing into the fountains. That's how nice a guy Jim Thome is.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. But, I think you look at those, Carter Jensen, Blake Mitchell, right? Both those guys are catchers. So if you are going to make a move, one of those guys is probably going to get moved.
And Mitchell, I got to talking to some people over the weekend down in Arizona. A lot of people in baseball like Blake Mitchell. A lot of people like Blake Mitchell.
And I think it was was it Jensen that got hurt or with the hand injury earlier this spring?
Right.
So I mean, you have talent, but again, it is a harsh system because baseball nowadays, it seems that guys that get to be the age of like 22 to 26 are like the premier athletes, right? Like you look at, obviously you take away Judge and Ohtani, but you look at, Eloy Jimenez or I can't think of his name.
De La Cruz?
De La Cruz, yeah. Eli De La Cruz in Cincinnati. Bobby Witt Jr., Raul Acuna might be a little bit older than 26 now. He might be like 27, 28. But like those type of players, Fernando Tatis Jr.,
guys get old fast, Dusty.
Right.
Like you think these guys are young, and then you get old, and they're like, "Oh my God, that guy's that old now too."
So it's hard. I mean, it's a tough criticism, but I mean, most of your talent is in your 1 through 4.
I mean, there's only one guy right now on the roster, pitcher-wise, that's 26 and under, and that's Angel Zerpa. He's the only guy that's 26 or under on the roster right now. And you look at their hitters that are under 26. You got Bobby Witt Jr., obviously. Michael Garcia. I like the fact that he can be kind of now more of a role player. Nelson Velasquez, MJ Melendez. Got to be a big year for MJ Melendez right now, and he's got to figure it out this year, and I think he will. There's been a lot, like we talked about for a couple weeks now, a lot of good returns on him. Nick Lofton, another guy.
Cole Reagans is 27.
Yeah,
so
right,
I mean,
right, but they did 26, and
I know,
I don't know.
Right.
I guess 26 is kind of that age where you start to kind of flip the script over to like when you're supposed to be in your prime. So 26 and under is like not your prime yet. 26 to 30 is kind of like your prime, and then 30 up, you're past your prime, I guess.
So I'm entering my prime. Okay.
You are,
Sweet.
yeah. You're
All
in your
right.
prime right now. Dusty and I have aged out long time ago of our prime.
I don't think I can play for the Royals, though.
Probably not. Nick Prado's on that list, who could use a change of scenery at some point, I'm sure, and then Drew Waters as well. Those are your kind of young hitters that are at the level right now. You've got your prospects of Kaggs, Blake Mitchell, Jensen, and Gavin Cross, and then you mentioned some of the pitchers on that list: Noah Cameron, Steven Zobak, and Luinder Avila. I don't know.
You just got to stop at that point.
Yeah.
Punt on those names.
So I like this has to be that all-in year for the Royals, I would imagine. Like you got to get out there, you got to make those moves, right?
For sure. But you got to have something to move, like you mentioned, right? Like Brady Singer got moved because you need a leadoff hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to Vern yesterday, sounds like India's got the juice, has the locker room on his side.
They love him.
So far,
yeah,
haven't seen a pitch thrown to him in a major league game yet. So far, he's fitting the script of what they wanted.
I'm a huge fan of that move. And, I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, and we were kind of going back and forth. A buddy of mine, he's like, what do you think of the trade? Like, because now everybody's starting to get out of that football mode, and we can see baseball starting to come out. I love the Jonathan. I think that's a brilliant move by JJ, man. It fills such a big need and has created depth and has given you the opportunity to move guys around and, give the manager some options and things like I really like, and I may be, just too bullish on it, right? But I love that move that the Royals made this offseason.
Was the Royals' offseason move to get a leadoff hitter as important as the Chiefs' offseason move to get a left tackle?
Wow, that's an interesting one. I think it's the NFL. It's always more important. It's Patrick Mahomes. But no, I think it's one and the same.
You have a leadoff hitter to protect Bobby, right?
Right.
And you have a left tackle to protect Patrick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both of your superstars.
The Royals went out and got what they needed this offseason.
They might have just cooked something up there.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
All right,
I do.
Give me the good.
All right, I did. I just gave you the good.
Okay, that's
you want the bad?
Oh, I thought you went bad first.
No. Oh, yeah, I did went bad first. I'll go give you the good.
I hope that's not good. I was like, please.
Dude, I was like shaking over here about to get a thanks for listening. I was like, damn it. I was like, I'm pretty sure we did bad.
Hey, Bob, thanks for listening to yourself. No, we didn't do bad. Right.
I was making sure.
I was like, thank God.
I was like, we both looked at each other like, the two kids were like,
Please.
Yeah, no.
The good news, we're 19th in young prospects.
I'm old. I'm losing brain cells.
That's the garage, Danny.
Yeah, well. And then also the I don't even know if this is good news. Good news is Royals fans should be optimistic. So apparently the Athletic has done for the last couple of years this, like, how optimistic are you for your baseball team going into the season? They call it their hope-o-meter going into the season. And this is where last year the Royals come in at number 14th. Going into the season last year, 74.4% of the people who responded to this Athletic survey about optimism for the Royals were optimistic about Kansas City going into the 2024 season. Why on earth would you, as a Royals fan, have been optimistic at this time last year going into the season? Coming off a 106-loss season, you had Bobby Witt. Nobody really knew anything else. You had a couple of veteran guys, but nobody really knew. Almost 75% of the Royals fans surveyed were optimistic about this team going into the season, right? And so the Athletic sends their survey out this year. Are you optimistic? Yes or no? Why? And then you fill it out, right? It ought to be close to 100% this year, I would assume, for Royals optimism, right?
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Because 2023, it was 44.2% of people that were optimistic about the Royals.
Must have been one of the only 43%.
Because Baltimore last year was number one. 98.7% of their fans were optimistic going into the season. They've won almost 200 games, I think, over the last 2 years combined, right?
Yeah,
They're
they've been
190 games. They've been fantastic. They should have that optimism. Do you think Royals fans should be more or less than 98.7% optimistic going into the season? Because I think if you're a Royals fan and you're truly looking at it, everybody better be optimistic going into this season. And if you're an Eeyore and you're not, which some people aren't, and that's fine, what is holding you back from being optimistic about the Royals?
And it better be something about 2025 Royals, not about your, PTSD and your pain that you've felt over the past 30 years.
Great point.
Right now, what about this team?
Yeah, and you can weigh in on the Jay Southland Tow Service text line, because if you're not optimistic, I'd like to know, because I am very optimistic. I'm excited, man. Being down there for 2 days and getting ready to go back in a week and a half or so and seeing the spring, the buzz is on like, I'm just going to say it was just different from Royal spring training that I've seen before. Superstar catcher, superstar at shortstop. We had a superstar on the mound in Cole Reagans. I'm like, and Vinny at first. I'm like, that's a really nice lineup, man. This is fun. So what's holding you back if you're not going to fill out that form at The Athletic and say you're optimistic about the Royals? What could possibly be holding people back?
We can dive into that as well on the other side, but stuff to be optimistic about as well is basketball madness that comes to Kansas City for the NAIA Men's College Basketball Championship March 20th through the 25th at Municipal Auditorium. 16 teams, 15 games, one national champion. Bring the family for nonstop action and affordable tickets. Get yours today at NAIAHoops.com. The carousel of the NFL offseason continues, and so does Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. Your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, you look outside and you can see the rain is coming down. The roads are going to be slick, and that could mean an accident could be in your future. And the last thing you want to do is have a car accident, right? But if you do, and you do run into that car trouble, you got to know who to call. And it's my friends over at Jay Southland Tow. They can help you out of any jam. If you get into a fender bender today, maybe you go off the side of the road with slick conditions tomorrow, or you just lock your keys in the car, or the car doesn't start. Whatever it is, Jay Southland Tow is going to help you out. They're just a phone call away. So what I want you to do is put their number in your phone right now and keep it handy, because again, we don't schedule car accidents. We don't schedule car trouble, but it happens to all of us. So put their number in your phone, 816-779-4TOW. That's 816-779-4TOW, or at southlandtow.com. Get it in your phone, forget about it, never worry about it. But when you do get into that car trouble, you know exactly who to call. They can help you fix flat tires like they did for me about a year ago. They can get you out of that ditch. They can start your car. They can unlock your car, get that key fob out. Jay Southland Tow specializes in everything. 816-779-4TOW, or at southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, and Tammy from the Westin, it's Jay Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay Southland Tow.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Kick off the Royals season with 96.5 The Fan at Hollywood Casino. Join us for an exclusive 96.5 The Fan roundtable featuring Michael Massey, Josh Vernier, and other special guests on March 28th at 6 p.m. Don't miss your chance to get insider insights before the season begins.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
What would you do if you could go back in time with the tap of a button?
Watch the ancient Egyptians build the pyramids?
How'd they do it?
Buy enough Bitcoin to purchase your very own private island.
Or maybe just skip the joke that flopped at the holiday party.
Unfortunately, we haven't figured out how to rewind time. But you can rewind live shows with the free Odyssey app.
Never miss your favorite sports talk again. To get started, download Odyssey and search for your station.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. The one you love is the light of your life. And if you're like most of us, you want to do whatever you can to nurture your relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and your partner. ED is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, and even breakups and divorce. And what's so disturbing about this is that most men who suffer with ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. At Heartland Men's Health, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases. In fact, if you're like most guys, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and maybe find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. So call Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 71 northbound, a bit slow from 75th, really more like 87th up towards Gregory, and then 435 westbound, just a bit sluggish from Warnell to the state line. Otherwise, things moving pretty well all around the metro. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Optimism was the question we asked the text line, 913-586-7965. Damn, glad to have you on a Tuesday. I think Mac's going to hit a 2.5-hour nap on a day like today.
A day like today, he's going to be all curled up.
Got the pups on the bed, house to the self.
100%.
Yeah. Well, it's a perfect napping day, right?
It's going to be good.
I guarantee you my dog looked with one eye and went, screw this, I'm going back to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought about it. I was like, Binkley would love to work on his birthday.
Oh, he would. It is Jay Binkley's birthday, so make sure you send him a message on X.
Yes, at 3 Guys in a Garage.
There you go.
And send him a little leprechaun, because he's a March baby.
Yeah. He came in like a lion.
Magically delicious.
Binkley is?
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard.
Yep. Shout out to the Pitt State Gorillas. Somebody says, I got to be honest. Right? That's not the right one we want to read. I'm at 99% this year.
Okay.
I saw the abilities last year, and really, an injury is the only thing I think that can stop us.
Yeah, that's every team, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
like
doesn't count.
that seems like the fallback. We're going to be great if we don't get injured. Yeah, so is everybody, right?
500 or better for me this year. I'm optimistic and excited from the 913.
I don't think that's a successful season, though, 500. Like, this needs to be a playoff team at minimum, right? At minimum. And I think they should be a team that is challenging for the division this year based on their roster, what they did last year. You take that next step, right?
You thinking like over 90 wins?
Well, I mean, what they have last year?
86.
Right. Yeah. I mean, everybody's conceivably better than where they were a season ago. It's only 4 games. They were a 30-game improvement from the year prior,
Crazy,
right?
Yeah.
So, like you got to bank on everybody taking that next step. So, yeah, I don't think 90 is asking a lot to win the division based on what you did last year.
Vegas has them at 83.5 wins, so just slightly above 500.
Yeah.
From a 660, I'm not optimistic.
Okay.
Vinny injury history. Lugo won't be Cy Young guy. Walker will come back. He already came back. Salvi won't be as good. 5 through 9 is still not good. Bullpen is unknown. Bubic has no reason to trust starting.
Yeah. Okay. So let me address a couple of things there. We can't worry about injury. Yes, Vinny does have an injury history, but you know what? You have a backup now for Vinny. If Vinny gets hurt, Jack Caglione's probably going to play, and Vinny may never see the field again.
Julie.
Yeah. I mean,
Julie.
he may never see the field again, and that's not a shot at Vinny. But that's the expectation for Caglione. Once he gets in the lineup, he's not being removed from the lineup. So if Vinny gets injured, then Vinny, I hate to say it, Vinny may be trade bait at that point in time if Cags comes up and does what we think he is going to do. What was the other things that they talked about on there that I wanted? Can you read that one again?
Yeah, it was Lugo is not going to be the Cy Young guy. Waka comes back, and 5 through 9 hitters in bullpen.
Yeah, go look at any.
And Bubic.
Go look at any.
The entire team.
Yeah, he listed everything. Go look at any team in baseball. Nobody's good 7, 8, 9 at any spot unless they're the Dodgers and you're paying $300 million. So those are the only teams that are good 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. And I understand if you have trepidation about Waka and Lugo duplicating what they did last year.
That would be my biggest fear.
Career years, it's hard to duplicate and count on guys having career years again. So I understand that point. I'm not necessarily against that. I totally see what you're saying with that.
And what's crazy is Waka didn't even have a career year last year. Like, go to his St. Louis numbers early in his career, like when he was really, and he's still able to do it at that age. Like, that's what he is. He's a third starter in your in your rotation for a small market team in the AL Central. Like, he's not going to and even if Lugo isn't a Cy Young, like, what if he's a shade below that?
Yeah.
Like, he's a hell
what if
of a
he's
number.
Cy old?
He's a shade below that. From the 913 Fescoe's burner account, the people that are not optimistic are the ones that do not want the Royals to move. Just jumped up. We got a bunch of texts at once. Are the ones that do not want the Royals to move. That's another way they voice their anger. Let them be angry. I'm 100% these boys. Let's go Royals, Aaron and Olathe.
I don't think anybody is going to prevent the Royals from moving. John Sherman's going to do what he wants to do, and so.
From the 660, last year seemed like everyone had their best season at once. Flukes. What happens when the guys you counted on come back to earth and you don't bring in anybody else that you can say for sure will step up?
Okay, who did they miss on this offseason that we would have liked to have seen them bring in? Because I don't know the answer. They made a move for one of their biggest needs.
Yep.
They got better defensively. They got better offensively. They created depth. Do we still want to back it? Would I like to have Luis Robert from the Chicago White Sox? You bet I'd love to have that bat in the lineup, but that's probably not going to be something that's realistically going to happen, for this team. Who are the other power hitters? Santander, as Vern talked about yesterday. I think it was Vern that was talking about it yesterday. Like, you sign Santander to a long-term deal, then he starts blocking Jack Caglione or somebody like that, and then you're like, oh man, I wish we didn't have that guy there. So that's kind of the flip side to that narrative.
From the 660, they can't wait for the Royals to go 162 just to get swept by the Dodgers in the World Series. LOL.
And I feel like that's always in the back of everybody's mind. Like, there two things can be true. We can still have a great baseball season, and the Dodgers can still be the World Series champions, right? Because I think everybody is picking the Dodgers to win the World Series, because that's what you should do, to pick the Dodgers to win the World Series.
The other thing, too, is that the Dodgers might be the greatest regular season team. They still got to win 4 games in a row when it matters.
Yeah.
They're great and they're good, and they did it last year. They didn't win 4 in a row, but they're good. But again, you have a chance if you play them in a series instead of you don't have to play the Dodgers 162 times. From the 913.
That's why I said two things can be true. You can have a really nice season, and the Dodgers could still win the World Series, but you could still win 90, win the Central, and get into the playoffs, and maybe you make the ALCS. Who the hell knows?
I disagree. Back-to-back years of 500 or better is good with me. Missing playoffs isn't a failure for me.
Okay. It has to be, though. I mean, we have to have higher expectations, right? They've got the superstar player. They've shown that they can win. Now it's all about taking that next step. And I think John Sherman is in the position, too, where he's not going to allow this team to slip back. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to be throwing money at this thing.
From the 816, we'll do one more. I don't think it's fair to discredit people's PTSD with the Royals. We've seen so many years of potential optimism just for the other shoe to drop. For me, it's cynical optimism, if that's a fair thing, LOL.
Well, I think we've created a lot of faux optimism over the years with the Royals because we wanted something to be optimistic about because we didn't have the Chiefs doing their thing or them being a legit team. And we've wanted this baseball team to be a winner for so long. I was actually talking about it yesterday with somebody who used to work for the Chiefs. And we were talking about the wild card night, right? And we were talking about the Chiefs game the day before where Tom Brady went out there and was benched basically, and they were on to Cincinnati. The Royals were at that game at that night, and I was talking to somebody yesterday who used to work for the Chiefs organization. Like, yeah, we got him a suite because at that time we had plenty of suites to give away because nobody was going. So we gave him a suite. He goes, I walked in that suite. He goes, it was like a fraternity house going on in there. Everybody was having a grand old time. He's like, these guys got to play the next day, right? So they went to bed and they woke up and they played. And they obviously they won that wild card game. But I mean, that's the kind of optimism I think we should have going into this season, that this is going to be a playoff team, that this is going to be a fun baseball team, and everybody's going to fall in love with the Royals this year. Allow yourself to get there. Don't allow that PTSD to have an impact because none of that matters. Nope. They're not playing for the ghosts of the last 30 years or 40 years or however you want to look at it. They're playing for themselves today, and none of these guys were part of any of those failures that took place over the last 30 years here in Kansas City.
Think about the Chiefs. It's the same thing. They have gotten rid of that, scum or that whatever it is.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the AL Central fluctuation in the division, Royals did move up. Now they are third above the Guardians. They're at plus 280, Guardians plus 310.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yankees, I wonder what they are now in the AL East. They just lost maybe Lucas Heel for the rest of the year.
Can you believe that? I mean, they got him and Stanton sitting out there on the DL. You've got LeMahieu that's out now.
At least they're not paying Heel.
Yet they're not. Rookie of the year, yeah.
Marcus Stroman is now set to be the starter for the Yankees. Season's over.
They're plus 100. Orioles at second, plus 250.
Yeah, take the Orioles.
Wow.
It's the Orioles year.
When you say it's their year for
to win the
division or to
win the, I don't know about winning the whole thing, but I mean, I don't know. I just think that now that Jackson Holliday's got a year under his belt, plus they have all those
other. Is that your pick to win the AL?
I don't know. I mean, I'm biased as all hell because I think this Royals team, the way that I've heard things, the way that I don't know if they can win the AL, but I think that's the Orioles' biggest competition. I think those two teams have the two best players in the AL.
I'd be more concerned, quite honestly, if I was an Orioles fan than a Royals fan going into this year. And for one reason only. The Orioles faded at the end and basically quit and didn't even play in the postseason. And
they ran into great pitching from the Royals.
Yeah, but they look flat towards the end of the year. Like I'm talking like August, September. You remember I watched a lot of Orioles baseball because I like their play-by-play guy and they're on early. But they lost something late in the season last year and kind of limped in, to the postseason. So I wonder if they're going to recover from that. That should be a concern for Baltimore fans. Did they limp in last year, and is that going to impact this year?
I think they're just fine. I mean, if Jackson Holliday is doing what he can do, which I think he's going to have an insane bounce back year, they have him, Henderson, and the catcher Rutschman all hitting 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I mean, or 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's a killer three in their lineup. Plus, their pitching's pretty decent as well.
Who do you like in the West?
Seattle or Texas? I mean, Seattle has that rotation. Texas is just always somehow like doing it some way, shape, or form.
So is Houston, though, too.
Did you see they're moving Altuve to left field?
I saw that yesterday.
I would hit to left field every single time.
I tried to hit it over his head.
I mean, yeah, he's going to play left field. Boston's also got a different team in the East. Yep. They signed Bregman. They've got some weapons as well. Like Devers is at third, maybe. But yeah, I mean, to me, I think Baltimore and Kansas City is the future of the American League.
I do too. Yeah.
I think Cleveland still has to be respected. Obviously, the Yankees are there. Detroit's really good.
Yep.
They bring back the Triple Crown Cy Young winner, basically. But we'll see. I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, I know that I'm biased, and I hang on these Royals a lot because I think that what Bobby Witt Jr. brings to this team is something different. We can get into superstardom a little bit later. Somebody's trying to pull on my emotions and say that, would you trade Jack Caglione for Paul Skeens straight up? Let's have a debate.
There's no question. There's no debate. I mean, come on now.
of course I'm keeping Jack.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Skeens has got like another pitch and Livy Dunn. Like, so why wouldn't we trade that guy?
Yeah, Paul Skeens is going to be dirty.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead and hit him for Cy Young.
Yeah.
What are the odds on that? I mean, you're not going to make any money on Paul Skeens winning the Cy Young Award this year,
He
right?
lost last year because of 3 reasons. 1, he didn't get called up quick enough. 2, Chris Sale was a Triple Crown. And 3, the kid's just too young to win an award like that.
Yeah, you
even
can't
though
give it to him,
his numbers were astonishing. But again, didn't have the full season like Sale did. But either way, how was
200.
Sale? Plus 200. Is he the favorite?
Yes. Zach Wheeler falls behind him at plus 700.
Nice. What's Bobby to win MVP? I know it's going to take you a little bit of time.
The odds are for Zach
right here.
Wheeler
I
to
got it.
lead the league in wins this year, by the way. Zach Wheeler's number 1 in odds to lead the league in wins.
Where do you think he's at?
Bobby? Is it for AL MVP?
Yeah, AL MVP.
I bet he's 3rd.
Second, third, he is first, plus 270. Judge, plus 300. And that's a big gap. Gunnar Henderson, plus 750 at third. So it's him and Judge right now.
Yeah, of course. That's who it should be, right?
Hell yeah, dude.
Who was last year? 0 first place votes.
Yeah, 0. But if you
he's
want to
the
take a
favorite.
flyer, Gunnar Henderson is the answer, plus 750. You can win some money on that, yeah.
Right. The carousel in the NFL offseason continues. Horton for the Chiefs catching some interest out of nowhere yesterday.
As he should.
Right.
I mean, the guy's
That's
a
your-
really good football
that's your
player.
guy.
I love him. I
Yeah.
love Turk Wharton. And
Why don't you marry him?
His
because
guy's
I'm
Mike
taking.
Dana.
I mean, Dana would be pissed, but I love Turk Wharton too, man. 8.5 sacks last year for
So
this
good.
guy. I mean, can you remember one Turk Wharton sack? Probably not. But the guy had 8.5. Like, he's a very good player. And if he's not going to be able to get paid here, which probably isn't going to happen, I hope Turk Wharton gets himself a nice contract and really finds himself some good dough out there on the free agent market, because he's shown and he's proven that he is one of the better defensive tackles right now that is going to hit free agency.
I mean, I like him. It screams Brett Veach. Is he a system player on your defense that can foil in and out? And is he cheap? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
was.
Well, yeah, was, yeah.
Was. Now the guy's going to get the bag. But, I mean, that's a Missouri S&T kid. I mean, my God, how many kids from Missouri Rolla are doing things in the NFL? And Turk Wharton was like one of those undrafted rookie free agents. Again, another guy that shows Brett Veach knows what he's doing. I know we want to talk about Breland Speaks and Sky Moore. Turk Wharton wasn't a drafted player. That's a undrafted free agent that he found, that he turned into a guy that dominated, that's now going to go get paid. It's a major win for Brett Veach.
Yeah, get Turk back on the team. Turk, O'Minihue, and Chris Jones. I'd be okay.
Yes. I mean, they don't really have much other D-line. Him and Karlaftis right now, that's it.
I'm just interested what he's going to get on the open market, like if he's going to outprice himself from Kansas City. There's a good chance he does.
Possibly.
I think so.
The miles and miles of rumors continue as now a new team is on the lurk for Myles Garrett. I see you guys a text yesterday. This would suck. Buffalo seems to be having a lot of interest in Myles Garrett.
What would you give up for Myles Garrett if you're Buffalo right now? Is that the missing piece to get you over the hump?
I'd trade him Cook because he wants a contract.
He wants a contract.
They either have to pay him. He's a running back.
Yeah.
Cleveland doesn't have a running back.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett doesn't want to be there. You win-win.
Yeah.
Obviously, you end that whole drama that they're like, well, we're not budging. And Myles Garrett's like, okay, well, we can do this the hard way or the easy way. And then Buffalo could be like, well, we really want it. We got to, like we said earlier with baseball trades, if you want to get something, you got to give up something.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Chubb definitely is not the same running back anymore. You didn't have
a free agent, too.
Yeah, and he's a free agent, yeah.
You did not have, which means you're probably not bringing him back if he's not the same.
Which means he's done.
Cook was a stud last year. Led the AFC in touchdowns?
I think led the
NFL
league
touchdowns?
in rushing touchdowns.
So, Mr. Cook, you want a deal? Okay, we're going to send you to Cleveland. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. I'll play for less. Too late.
League minimum or a nice contract and playing for Cleveland? What are you choosing?
Chance to win and be happy, or get paid and be somewhat happy. I don't know. That's a tough one to ask.
That is the reason the Bills haven't been able to beat the Chiefs, though. It's the defense. It hasn't been their offensive production. They can score on the Chiefs. They can't stop them. So
The honest
Myles Garrett would be
question.
huge.
The honest question, if you're Cook, is you take the money because you're a running back.
Of course you take
You've got
the money.
one shot,
Yeah.
and that's it.
I mean, and all the stuff about Pacheco, everyone's like, I can't believe they're not. Of course they're not paying Pacheco. They never were going to pay Pacheco.
Other news outside. Myles Garrett wanting to go to Buffalo maybe being a possibility, which I think Buffalo fans are like, oh my God, finally. You know, it's not Khalil Mack. who's apparently ready for a reunion in Chicago.
Is he really?
It's the rumor I saw yesterday that he would not debunk a reunion back to Chi-Town. The other name that popped up that gave Mac a little movement downstairs was Darius Slay is going to be released by the Philadelphia Eagles and be a free agent corner to go sign. The Chiefs need a corner. Binkley and Chris Unicero, who do the Character Concerns podcast, they've had for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Corner #1 pick for the Kansas City Chiefs, or do you say scratch that and go sign Darius Slay if you can find out how to get the money right?
All right, so what has worked for this organization? They've done a nice job drafting defensive backs. You continue to do that. 34 years old, a little bit long in the tooth, high salary.
No Slay.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
I
out
get
on
it.
that.
I get it.
But you're in, so tell me why. I mean,
well, he's big play Slay. He's veteran. He's won everywhere he's been. He's fantastic man corner. He's bigger, which is nice because McDuffie a little smaller could put him back in the slot. Have Slay out in the X guard those bigger receivers, and he's proven. I get the 34 thing scary. We just saw him play a great season on the Super Bowl winning team.
Right.
I'd take a chance on him 1 year, probably cheap.
Yeah, but I always come back to this. Teams don't get rid of good players. If they still think they can play, you're never cut because of salary in the NFL. You're cut because of age. They don't think you can play anymore. Oh, and by the way, you're making money. Fine, you're gone. But if it's somebody that's a good player that they still believe can play, salary doesn't factor in. So I look at the Eagles right now, and I say they must have got rid of him, or getting rid of him, if you will, for a reason. What is that? Do they not feel he can play anymore? And that may be the case.
They did just draft 2 corners in the first round, too, so they feel pretty confident there. I don't know.
And they got that one guy that gave us one of the best responses. How do you stop Patrick Mahomes? We'll show you.
Yeah, now looking back on that, you're like...
Cooper DeJean.
That was scary.
Yeah, that's why they can afford to get rid of Darius Slay, because Cooper DeJean's going to be the truth.
Because we looked at that as like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to stop Mahomes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're like, oh, no, he knows exactly what.
Yeah, he's got the answer.
We walked into that dome, chests out. We walked into there deflated.
Oh, yeah. We walked in and go, they don't have no idea how to stop. Oh, my God. Where's the
DeAndre Hopkins drops it. That's game. Well, we still got a minute 15 left in the first half.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's over. I've already spilled my coffee on poor Matt Derrick.
I told the boss that story yesterday. He's like, that's hilarious.
Well, Matt Derrick's the greatest human being on earth. I'm so humiliated that I spilled a cup of hot coffee on him. And I'm glad it was him, because anybody else would have freaked out.
What the hell?
And Matt Derrick's like,
left.
yeah, right. Matt Derrick is like, hey, it's no big deal. It's okay. I'm like, no, it is a big deal. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's so funny. And then he spilled nuts all
Then
over
I spilled a bowl of nuts on him like it was.
Jeez.
I even used Matt Derrick's binoculars, and I was using them. I was like, you smell like coffee. And they just both started roaring, laughing. I was like, well, Bob was like pimping him out, too. He's like, dude, you look great. You've lost so much weight. You're healthier. You look so fantastic. Here's all of my coffee all over your laptop, your Super Bowl, his Super Bowl guide, everything just coffee ruined. Larry David comes into the Super Bowl.
I went and got him a new guide and all that kind of stuff. I took care of it. But no, I love when people lose weight and they look great and they do. It's because it's so hard, and I know. And I was like talking them up because I really believe it. I'm like, you look great. It's awesome. Here's my coffee
And
all
then
over.
piss coffee all over. At least Bob drinks his coffee black, so there's no sugar or any additives in it. So there is a slight positive. The franchise tag deadline is today at 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern. That's how that works. One name that's not going to get the franchise tag is Chris Godwin. Don't tease me with a good time, is what I say to that.
So you're in. You'd like Godwin.
Absolutely. He's 29. Had a big injury this year.
Big injury. Second big injury in his career.
But he's a proven commodity. He's essentially when you got Juju from the Steelers. A little faster.
Yeah.
Not as big.
Great
but he's
route
that
runner.
guy. You can trust him to be that guy. And with Mahomes, anything's possible.
So he just turned 29, so he's not quite 30.
Right.
In the prime of his career.
Playing a prove-it deal.
Yeah, prove-it deal.
Get him cheap.
Can I still get a big contract if I do 1 year with the Chiefs? Absolutely, you can.
You look at his numbers, 1,000 yards, and 576 because he didn't play the whole season. Averages 82 yards a game.
He's a really good player.
Yeah, what the hell?
Hammer Brown.
I ask you this. I'll ask you this. If they're both available, Debo or Godwin, who would you have taken?
Godwin.
That's quick.
Yeah. Money, everything. Yeah, Godwin.
Yeah.
I think Debo's overrated.
It'd be interesting to see what he does out there.
He's
in
no longer a
Washington.
wide receiver 1, so we'll see where
That's true.
where
It's
we
huge for
actually
him.
put him as a rating as a wide receiver. Don't forget, we'll talk to Vern at 8 o'clock. He's live in Arizona, and spring training coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Park & Go, KC's premier airport parking destination. It is a Threesome Tuesday, and a happy birthday to Bink. He joins us on the other side at 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
I'll tell you what, my friend Dawn Sharp is flat out awesome. Listen to this. If you're thinking of selling one's home as complex, imagine coordinating 2 home transactions simultaneously in different areas. That's where Dawn Sharp and her expert team turn complexity into clarity for families all across our region. Recently, clients needed to sell their Pleasant Hill home while buying in Kingsville, right outside of Kansas City. Dawn's team didn't just handle both transactions. They made it look easy. Their deep knowledge of multiple markets combined with their careful timing and coordination created a seamless experience for this growing family. What others see as challenging, Dawn's team sees as an opportunity to showcase their expertise. Whether you're buying, selling, or both, they provide the information and guidance you need to make the confident selection. And the Sharp Homes team can give you options. Do you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold? Well, you can do that. Contact them to discuss their instant offer program. In fact, contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp with the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. You can Google them, Sharp Homes Team, and see 200 5-star Google and Zillow reviews, or just visit them at homesforsaleandkc.com. That's homesforsaleandkc.com, and start packing.
Honey, it's me, your wife. Sorry to bother you, but this house is a mess. The windows are drafty, the vinyl siding has cracks and holes in it, and the kids just fell through the deck. We need Powell Exteriors KC now. They install James Hardie siding, Provia windows, Renaissance patio products, beautiful decks, roofing, and more, all at 0% interest for 18 months. Go to powellkc.com and see for yourself. Powell Exteriors KC. The best decision you've made since you married me.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, Use as directed.
The game tips off. The NBA action is just beginning on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because FanDuel is your home for NBA live betting. So even if you missed the first few minutes of the game or you want to bet that amazing fourth quarter comeback, you can make your picks from the first whistle until the final buzzer. Plus, you can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot in an even bigger payout. However you want to play, right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 wager wins. Just remember my promo code KFNZ to get started today at your chance at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets. Expires 7 days after street restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 35 northbound in Olathe. Pretty heavy approaching Old 56 Highway. Stays that way up past Santa Fe. Heading K10 eastbound, starting to get pretty heavy around K7. You may have a new problem in through there slowing you. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Than to have a world party on the day you came to be. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Binkley. Jay Binkley joins the show here in just a second as we will bring the man, the myth, the legend to the air. It is a Threesome Tuesday. So, Binkley, what would be your perfect threesome on your birthday?
Man. We talking golf or women?
It's your birthday,
It's
man.
your
You do
birthday.
whatever the hell you want.
Well, man. I don't know how to answer this.
Yeah, you do. Answer with your heart, and you can never go wrong.
Beer, chew, beef.
So, Stu, beer, nachos, and beef jerky.
That's your perfect birthday threesome?
Yeah.
Now give me the women version.
To keep it clean.
No, get dirty. It's your birthday. Who'd be your who'd be your perfect threesome, women wise?
That one girl I had on the air a couple years ago. That for sure.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, who did I grow up liking? Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Is she still around?
Oh yeah, still a babe.
Yeah, and Livy Dunn.
A little young.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So
She could be your granddaughter.
Paige Spiranek got cut. I'm surprised by that.
Oh no,
Okay.
she's on there too for sure.
Okay, so it's a foursome. It's
Yeah,
your birthday. You can
okay.
open any
It's
present. you want.
wild.
Yeah. So what are you doing for your birthday, Jay? Mock drafts?
Right now I'm in front of a doctor's office. Got to do rehab for a couple hours, and
Nice.
it'll be fun. Can't wait.
Are you enjoying this this fake radar we got with these powerful storms that are moved in through this Tuesday morning?
Yeah, what's your radar saying today, Dust, man? It looks like it's a little bit rainy out. I'm going to be at the bar later, but am I going to face rain when I go to the bar?
What bar are you going to?
Probably Johnny's.
Nice. Up there in the Northland. You love that Parkville location, don't you?
No, I do. I like it. So I'll probably be hitting there later. Maybe some smokehouse for dinner.
Yeah,
I got to do that whole thing there.
Yeah, you got to get over to the smokehouse, get the beans, get the wings. Of course, they're fantastic. They have pork belly burnt ends now at Smokehouse, so you need to try those. Yes.
What's the greatest birthday present you ever got?
I think that 50th was fun that we had all the beer at a couple years ago.
How's that different from any other one, though?
Well, because that was actually something fun. Usually, I don't do anything.
Very well said. Very well said.
It's actually fun.
Binkley, Wharton, you bring that guy back if the money's right?
It depends. I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, Chris Jones, the only defensive lineman under contract. This draft is absolutely loaded with defensive linemen. But, yeah, it depends on how much Turk makes on the open market. But with his skill set and everything, he might be commanding some cash. And he has a reason to go get it. He's got a couple of rings, go ahead and get the cash.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
We asked a question earlier about optimism for the Royals season. What are you most optimistic about when it comes to this 2025 team?
I'm just Bobby Witt Jr. is the easy answer for it, but just seeing at what point we get Jack Caglione up to Kansas City. Hopefully it's by summer, and see what Benny turns around, see if he can stay healthy for the year, because I think Benny can be freaking awesome for this team. Love to see MJ Melendez kind of get things turned around, but obviously Bobby Witt Jr. Jonathan India, too. I'm kind of curious about what he brings to the table.
Yeah, so you just named everybody on the roster. Awesome. I like that. Yeah, as we should. I mean, there's nobody that you look at the roster and go, oh, God, this guy, like we used to, you know?
Yeah, and Carter Jensen, see his progress in the minor leagues. Park Hill kid, always root for the local guy. See what Burns up to.
Yep. All right, Jay. Well, go get that doctor's appointment knocked out. You have a wonderful birthday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow about the draft.
All right, thanks for calling, guys. Appreciate it.
You got it, man. Happy birthday, Jay.
So send it to @3guys in the garage, a little leprechaun GIF, and we'll be okay. That's going to piss a lot of people off because I say it that way.
GIF? That's the peanut butter, right? Which is it? Is it GIF or is it GIF?
I don't know.
Who cares?
It's a debate that gets a lot of people really pissed off.
Oh, what doesn't get everybody pissed off these days?
A threesome?
Oh, yeah, a threesome. All right, here's my Tuesday threesome for you guys. Handle it however you want. I got Jimmy Johnson, King Cake, and Hunter Dickinson.
Right in the Jimmy Johnson. That's the first thing I think of, and then I think of his retirement.
Right. How about that? 31 years. I was thinking about this yesterday, right? Jimmy Johnson was 50 when he started on Fox NFL Sunday. Wow. Do you know he's been doing that longer than you've been alive?
So he's 80?
81.
That's
81,
nuts.
yeah.
So if you want the recipe to life, you buy a yacht and move to Miami.
That's exactly what it is.
Because he told Dan Le Batard one time he's worn shoes twice in a year. It was for a wedding and a funeral.
Right.
I mean, and he doesn't look 81, at least in my opinion.
No, he doesn't.
No,
his hair's awesome.
He hasn't aged at all. Like, if you look at Jimmy Johnson from like the day he got the Dallas job in '89 to where he is today, hardly looks different at all.
I also thought it showed a lot of how much respect he had for Colin Cowherd and the network that he's worked for, because he chose that platform at that moment to announce his retirement. Like, he could have came out on social media or he could have done like an interview somewhere else. Colin Cowherd's show right off the shoot. Hey, man, I'm calling it today. I'm retiring from the NFL and broadcast and everything. And she's like, oh, okay.
Cool.
Do you think that you're more of like a retirement like Barry Bonds, or do you think more of of course, the analogy comes right after from Colin.
Will we remember Jimmy Johnson more as a broadcaster or as a coach? I know Mac will remember him as a broadcaster because he has no idea that he was a coach. But,
he coined the "How about them Cowboys," which is now like they're saying. So to me, it's both. If that's the cop out,
it's both.
Yeah, it is both. Because like, I grew up knowing him as a coach, right? Like, and then I, kind of became like in college, I became this Miami Hurricanes fan for like 4 years.
Who wasn't, though, in our age?
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you weren't rooting for the Miami Hurricanes, you were probably doing it wrong, right?
And then you find out, Jimmy Johnson was in Miami. That's who turned that whole thing around. And then you find out he goes to the Cowboys. And then you find out Jerry Jones is a Richard from then on.
Right.
So, yeah, that's probably, and then obviously broadcast. He's like one of the only ones that stuck around and never got kicked off the show, was never replaced. Like Tony G was there, Shannon Sharp was there, like all these guys went there. Jimmy Johnson never left. It was him and Howie Long and then the guy that hosts it.
Yeah, well, it was him and Howie, and Bradshaw was there, was one of the originals as well.
Crazy think Bradshaw's still not retired.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's got a couple of more years, I think he said. But I mean, like if you were going to tell me which one of these guys is going to retire, I would have said Terry was going to be that guy. Jimmy, though, you're kind of leaving on top, man. You're leaving after a Super Bowl. You're still really good at what you do. You're 81 years old, but you look about 60. Like, go live the rest of your life and have a lot of fun. And Jimmy Johnson is proof, like, these guys that grinded out coaching all these years, Jimmy Johnson just walked away and said, you know what? Life and having fun is more important. Being in Key West on my boat is more important than coaching in the NFL. I won a championship in college. I won a couple of Super Bowls in the NFL. Peace out, man. I've had a good life. If you could tell me that, at 81, I would have lived the life that Jimmy Johnson led, everybody would sign up for that, right? He's lived an unbelievable life. He's had so much success. He's been a great guy. There's never been scandal, none of that. Congratulations to Jimmy Johnson, man.
Hunter Dickinson, double-double last night. Wasn't enough. Just got dominated by the Bigs in Houston. That's one of the best teams in the nation, so not much to say about that. He did miss a couple of shots, like point-blank range, but he was good. He actually, He
was all right, yeah.
But whatever he does, it doesn't matter. He's always going to be the brunt of everything for Kansas fans.
King Cake, to me, is overrated.
You know what? I had a bite of it when we were in New Orleans.
Cake that we saw the video of where it
no,
gets dropped
not that
on
at all.
his ass. Bare naked ass. King Cake and the guy.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, not going to do it. Nope, but it's like a stale cinnamon roll is kind of what the
Yeah,
king cake was. I didn't think it was that good. I took a
it's
bite. I'm like,
fine.
whatever.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, king cake overrated. If it's overrated, I don't know. Is it?
I think it's just one of those.
It's just a thing. Yeah. No,
like-
Jimmy Johnson, top of the three.
Jimmy
even though
Johnson,
his
yeah.
security yelled at me, it's all good.
Yeah,
Still love
his
you, Jimmy.
security, but it wasn't him. It was
Sure,
that.
it was
It
not
was that
him.
hired goon
Yes.
that was walking alongside of
way.
him. Yeah. That guy'd be a goon in the NHL
Get out
out
of the
there
way,
to fight.
kid.
Jimmy Johnson's coming through. Move!
35-foot wide concourse.
I mean, the concourse you could have landed a jet plane in.
They even dropped a Gronk. Like, get out of the way, guys. And Gronk's coming too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Gronk's like, yeah,
Sweet.
where?
Exactly. Where are we going?
Even me know that's not real money. Coming up on the other side, our Royals insider, Josh Vernier, joins us live from Arizona here on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for our Royals insider, Josh Vernier.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, my friends over at Park and Go do an unbelievable job. Just parked with them over this past weekend and came back, and my car was great because it's protected. And on days like today, your car's out. You don't want it sitting out in the rain. You don't want to sit out in that blizzard we're supposed to get tomorrow. You want it to be protected when you're headed to the airport. And with spring break right around the corner, a lot of people are going to be headed out of town. Make your reservation at Park and Go because you got to have a place to park your car. And at Park and Go, you get all covered parking and you get great customer service as well. Not only is your car protected, but as soon as you pull into that lot at Park and Go, the van meets you and takes you right to the airport terminal. There is no waiting at all. And when you get back, Park and Go is even better because they're waiting for you. Grab your bag, walk outside, jump on the bus, and it's right back to your car. No waiting, no hoping a bus shows up. These guys are on top of it. And I was talking to one of their drivers the other day. You get great customer service, and you know why? They hire great people at Park and Go. So do what we did and join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
98 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of Kansas City has been repairing and replacing garage doors. Locally owned and operated since 1927. Headquartered in Olathe. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. For same-day repair service 24/7, call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City, 816-221-0072, or schedule online at ohdkc.com.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Everyone deserves to elevate their beef. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal they'll never forget or impress your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, their Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We've got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Royals coverage sponsored by Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer and Jersey Mike's Month of Giving.
Join us in supporting Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer and Jersey Mike's Month of Giving. Visit any Casey, Topeka, or Lawrence Jersey Mike's and donate. You can also donate through the Jersey Mike's app. Help the fight against childhood cancer with Braden's Hope and Jersey Mike's.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony, plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric. On the Missouri side, things get slow in the Grandview Triangle. Then 435 westbound is off again on again heavy to the state line. 35 northbound on the Kansas side slows the merge to 69 highway off again on again heavy up towards Mission from there. Money back guarantees and parts and labor warranties mean you aren't just buying products, you are securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule your complimentary proposal online at anthonyphc.com. Alan Corn, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Go check out 96.5 The Fan's Instagram page for videos, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes content. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2. Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Somebody chiming in on what Binkley's threesome for his birthday would be: beer, golf, with that one chick with big boobs, then threesome after. That's about right. Binkley debunked the whole setup and just goes, yeah, I'd probably go beer, nachos, and beef jerky. Vern, he's pretty accurate about that, isn't he? We've sat next to Binkley destroying some nachos and beef jerky before.
Oh, man, yeah, that sounds like his dream. I was listening, and as he was saying those three things, I mean, he left Chew out.
Yes.
But I think that was just him covering his own backside on the radio. But, yeah, those three and half of it, will be stuck in his teeth.
Yeah.
And he's destroying it with a fork and covered in salt. And happy birthday,
The
babe.
chew or the food?
Yeah, all of it.
All of it.
Yeah,
Right.
salt on everything. Yes.
Like how Frank Kona chews his gum and chew.
Yeah.
Binkley puts a dip on a chip and scoops, and he's like, "Tell you something, Dutch man. Yeah, damn man, you've had nacho cheese with a dip."
Yeah, and that's exactly what he would say.
I don't
know. You're a little girl. You don't put salt on your chew.
Yeah, don't be a puss, Dutch. Yeah. I remember the first time I went in there, he goes, "Best part about nachos, Dutch, you eat onions. As many as you want."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, only like
onions.
I was like, only satanic people put onions on nachos. They call me Satan, Dusty. Okay.
Yeah, and then I would sit next to him for the entire game, and then
You'd
he'd
smell-
peer pressure me into chewing, and then I'd get dizzy and want to throw up at the start of the post-game show.
Right.
Man, those were some wild times, and now all those players are being retired.
Right.
And retiring as a Royal. It's wild.
Yeah, I want to bring that up because Moose obviously got the information. Thanks to you for having it available for Cody and Gold yesterday. What was kind of the look in his eyes when you were talking to Moose about that sort of stuff, and like him getting that acknowledgement that is, a great career. I mean, 13 years going in as a Royal and retiring as a Royal with the one-day contract. What was kind of his demeanor yesterday when that news is out and you guys are all talking to him?
Emotional. Moose always wore his heart on his sleeve, and while he was a player, it was always at times, anger, frustration. He was always the heartbeat, I thought, of that team, the fire of those championship teams of 2014 and 2015. But, I mean, Dusty, you were in that locker room. You remember Moose. He
We remember when Varkey
and this is
pitched
not
a good game.
surprising. Yeah, but once he got married, once he had these kids, he's turned into a softie.
Yep.
The hard-nosed, we're not going to lose this game, blankety-blank guy inside the dugout is now, wrapped around his daughter's fingers. And the guy that came off the field in 2017 with Haas and Kane and Esky while they were all smiling and waving and Moose was bawling, that's who Moose is now. He's just a good guy that wants to take care of his kids and stay in the game of baseball. And you could tell how much it meant to him to be in the pantheon of the Royals legends. I mentioned that to him afterward. I go, you legend. That's how you're going to be remembered. He quickly brushed that aside and made a joke about it. But he is. I mean, the home runs in 2014, the catch in the third base dugout, the speech in the wild card game, the speech in Game 4 against the Houston Astros. That moment, walking off the field, being in tears, it showed you how much not only his teammates meant to him, but the city of Kansas City. And I always go back to a story that he told this past off season when they were, him and Hosmer were reminiscing about Lorenzo Cain's retirement day at Kauffman Stadium. And, they were watching that and crying. And then they come back for the 2014 reunion last year, and as Moose and his family are flying back to California after the 2014 reunion, his son looks to him and says, "Wow, Dad, they really love you in Kansas City," and Moose got emotional. He knew that they loved him, but for it to be so abundantly clear that a 5-year-old can acknowledge that, wow, 40,000 people think my dad's pretty cool. Fescoe, you're a dad. I can't imagine what that would mean.
Yeah, no, anytime your kid says something nice,
they're proud of you. That's
right,
cool.
Exactly. It really is.
Can you say that again while I record it?
Yeah, because it doesn't happen a lot. But like when you said that, I could feel kind of my heart, just kind of melt a little bit. Like, hey, Dad, they really like it. I'm like, yeah, we really do. But I'll go back, to 2010 when we moved back from the minimum security prison called St. Louis after 3 years. And I went to my first spring training, and I remember Haas and Moose. Obviously, they weren't on the team yet, but they were, they were the hot new prospects at that point in time. And it goes like this, Vern, like just like this. And that's why I've always been just please appreciate everything, that we have going on and everything that this team has done and the Chiefs have done. Don't get caught up in the moment and the minutia of the day-to-day. Get caught up in what's going on and appreciate what's going on. Because I'm sure if you ask Moose, I'm sure if you ask any of those guys from 14 and 15, did you appreciate it enough? They probably would say no. They were too busy focused on other things instead of appreciating what they were accomplishing. Because I even know to this day, and I continue to tell this story, I talk to Dayton a lot, and I always say, do you appreciate it yet? Nah, still don't. Like they didn't appreciate the moment. And the day after, when we were having that celebration in 2014, remember that celebration at Kauffman Stadium where we had some of the players come out? The front office went right back upstairs afterwards, and they were all given, their orders for the offseason. All right, we're not talking about what we just accomplished. We're talking about moving forward to 2015. And they were all on that same page from the front office on down. The 2015 was going to be the year that they won it, and they did. And now here we are 10 years later getting ready for a 10-year reunion. Like, it happens overnight, my man.
And it's wild that they really can't appreciate it. To be great, to be champions, the kind of work, the kind of focus, the straight-ahead attitude and drive, that has to be unrelenting, because the moment you stop and smell the roses, Jack Caglione passes you by and you lose your job, like you guys were talking about earlier. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and every time you feel as if I've accomplished something, someone's trying to take your job. Although out here at Royals camp, as you saw, Bob, that when your two hardest workers are a future Hall of Famer in Salvador Perez and likely another future Hall of Famer in Bobby Witt Jr., that kind of serves as a tenet that if they're working that hard, if they're the first ones on the field, me, a utility infielder, a third baseman, a left fielder that's only in my second or third year, man, I can't enjoy it. I got to get out there and work.
Vern, I want to bring this up, and I know a lot of people hate player comps, but Moose was kind of the Robin to Hosmer, I would think, in 14 and 15. Hosmer, the superstar, Bobby Wood, the superstar in this team. Is Vinny kind of that sort of mold? I know he's not necessarily the rah-rah guy that Moose was, like, we're not effing losing this game, but I feel he kind of carries some of those characteristics with this version of the roster.
Yeah. First of all, I don't think there was a superstar on that 15 team. Certainly not of the caliber of what Salvi is today, and obviously not what Bobby is as a perennial MVP candidate. Yes, I agree with your point that Vinny is, to me, the mouthpiece of that clubhouse. He says the things that everyone is thinking. He says the things that Bobby would never say, because Bobby's a machine, a baseball machine that is as polite and humble as you're ever going to find. But there's a fire in there. There's a guy that wants you to know I'm the best player on the field, and Vinny's the guy that puts that out there in the atmosphere for everyone to hear. Vinny's the one that's going to be open about the team's goals. And that's a lot like that. Hosmer was the mouthpiece of those championship teams. Moose, I always say, was the heartbeat, and to me, the heartbeat of this team is Salvi. Who's the guy that's going to give that Moose-like speech in the dugout? I feel like that. Man, that's an interesting debate, because the only guys you would assume that have the gravitas to stand up and tell everyone to shut up are Bobby, Vinny, Salvador Perez. I guess hopefully that develops over the course of the season. I mean, Hunter Renfro's got a little bit of that in him. He's got a little bit of the old school, keep it light, tell some jokes, maybe a few off-color jokes. Moose had a little bit of that. But no, I don't think that anyone has, or anybody on this team has the total package that Moose was, the ability and also that unyielding fire burning within. No one really jumps out to me yet.
Yeah, not. You're right. I mean, like, you can't recreate that, right? I know we always, like, as he said, he hated player comps. Dusty did, and I'm like, I understand that as well. But we all like to do the player comps, but sometimes you just can't comp a player. Like Moose was just that guy. Like, you can't recreate or be somebody you're not.
Right, and pitchers, Reagan's isn't that type. Waka's not that type. Seth Lugo's certainly not that type. You look to the bullpen; those aren't really your rah-rah guys. Honestly, that might develop over the course of this season. Maybe I'm looking around. MJ just hasn't done it yet. If he can put a whole season together, he certainly has passion and energy, but he needs to focus on himself before he opens up his mouth. Kyle Isbell's I think too great of a teammate to really get have the cuss words start pouring out. Yeah, I don't think this team has that type of fired up individual. The gas tank is always full, ready to run through hell in a gasoline suit like a Pete Rose, like a Mike Moustakas. Hopefully that develops over the course of this season, though.
Vern, one of the things I heard a lot about during the 2 minutes that I was down there was lockout, work stoppage. Everybody was talking about it. Tony Clark mentioned it yesterday. They're expecting a lockout. I'm under the impression of if you do a work stoppage and you come back with a cap and a floor, fans will be fine. I could be totally wrong. React to me, basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, to achieve a cap and a floor, man, you might miss an entire season.
Yeah.
And in today's entertainment landscape, with attention spans being what they are, people will forget about baseball, I think, real quick.
Wow.
Maybe not you and I, but a lot of people, I think, will forget about. No, I think that would be terrible for the game of baseball. I mean, there already is a quasi-cap with all these different luxury taxes. There isn't a floor, and players are never going to go for a hard cap. I can't believe they already have been duped into the soft cap. But now, I'm not saying I'm opposed to all of it. I understand where baseball needs to go. Right, the players and the owners have to work together if they're going to grow this game. But there's just so much animosity between the two, understandably so, because of the past 80, 90 years. I certainly believe that there's going to be a work stoppage, and I think it could be catastrophic for the game. I think guys like you and I, Bob, might be the only people to come out the other side when it's all said and done.
Okay. All right. I guess I am in the minority. I'm glad we talked that out because I thought I would be like, hey, you have a work stoppage. You shut this thing down for a year. You come back with a cap and floor. Fans will be happy. I guess that's just the baseball dork in me, right?
Well, that might take some time, though. I mean, big picture, 20 years from now, you might be right because you need baseball fans in Kansas City to care what's happening in Los Angeles and New York and Seattle and Miami the same way Chiefs fans know. Maybe don't care, but Chiefs fans know what's going on with the Seahawks and the Dolphins. You know what's going on with the Eagles and the Cardinals. Royals fans know what's going on in Kansas City, but they probably don't know the moves that the Tigers made, teams in their own division. Baseball needs to become less provincial, more of a national sport. And, I think you're right. The only way to do that is likely working together, implementing a hard cap, a hard salary floor, to where every team feels as if we're all playing by the same rules. I understand why the players don't want it. I understand why the players will probably never capitulate to it, and thus leads to a year-long lockout, and who knows the future of the game. But like you guys were talking about earlier, it's unfortunate because the game is as healthy. There's as much talent as, to me, growing up, I always dreamed about, being in New York in the 50s or being around for Mays and Aaron and Clemente in the 70s. To me, the kind of talent that's in the game right now is comparable, if not better. Well, it's certainly better. I'm just talking about the amount of stars and how captivating so many of these athletes are. To think that we're going to lose a year of Bobby Witt Jr. is sickening.
Well, the hell with the athletes. I wouldn't want to lose a year with Josh Verner. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
That?
Hey, thanks for coming in here with
just
with
make sure I get paid still.
Absolutely. I'll protest all you need. Thanks for coming on the show all the time with your gasoline fireproof suit, Vern. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
You bet. Vern, live in spring training with the Royals in Arizona, and spring training coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Park and Go, KC's premier airport parking destination. Coming up on the other side, Bobby Witt Jr., Patrick Mahomes. Superstars do something only superstars can do. I'll explain on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
My friends over at Golden Oak Lending have helped us out of financial jams over the years, and now they're ready to help you as well. Maybe you're not in a financial jam, but you want some financial freedom. Maybe you have a big expense coming up over the next couple of months, and you just need to go a few months without making a mortgage payment. Or maybe, like everybody else, those holiday bills have come due, and you're trying to figure out a way to pay off your holiday bills. Well, you can do that with a refi with my friends over at Golden Oak Lending. But the first step is getting that free mortgage checkup. It is free. It is absolutely 100% free, risk-free, no paperwork, no credit card. Just call them at 913-890-GOLD and say, hey, I want to take that free mortgage checkup. And Golden Oak Lending is going to listen to you. They're going to ask what your financial goals are, where you want to go, and what you want to do. And then they'll see if they can get you there. If they've got a plan in place that can help you, they'll let you know. And if they don't have a plan that's better than what you're currently in, they'll let you know that as well and say, hey, maybe in 6 months we'll have something that'll fit your needs better. The average cash-out customer at Golden Oak Lending saves $1,104 per month, and you can go 2 months without having to make a mortgage payment. So call them now, 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD, and let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
It's Power Torque Tools DIY days at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Lifetime guaranteed Power Torque professional hand tools only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's Power Torque Tools DIY days at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Lifetime guaranteed Power Torque professional hand tools only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And though I generally talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues, today I want to talk about love. Because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. You see, ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. But the good news is that if you're like most men suffering with ED, you can be successfully treated at Heartland Men's Health and put a stop to the relationship relationship stresses that ED can cause. I say this with all confidence because we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Surely, it's likely you'll find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get the love back in your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side 29 southbound gets heavy past Parvin and quite slowed down to around 16th Avenue, then sluggish across the Bond Bridge with an accident at Front Street blocking the left lane. Kansas side 35 northbound pretty heavy from Antioch up past 635 and then sluggish to Mission. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Shout out Big Vern joining us from Arizona where the weather is great, unlike today. 22 days away from opening day.
Woo! It's a Thursday, so 23. What would it say? Tuesday? So
20.
Thursday would be 21, 20. Yeah, I guess 22, not counting today. Yeah. However you
Can't
want.
wait.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be awesome.
Love opening day. Always go to a local establishment, crush a little bit of lunch, and then either go to the game or watch it at my house on my TV if it's snowing outside.
If it's snowing. It may be raining on opening day. Rain is in the forecast. This could be your opening weather.
Never know. I hope it's just a nice 70-degree day, sunny, slight breeze.
Perfect conditions.
That's what you want.
What was an opening day like 2 or 3 years ago where we had snow, rain, sun? Like we had it all
2 years
out
ago.
there. Yeah, it was awful.
2 years ago we had we definitely had snow on because Bobby hit, he's knocked in the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 8th, and my video that I have is like Cody, Gold, and I like slapping hands, and there's snowflakes falling.
Yeah, and then the sun came out, and it was 70, and then it went back away, and it rained. Like it was a weird opening day a few years ago.
Very, very weird. But you mentioned Bobby Witt Jr. We mentioned Patrick Mahomes probably twice a day on the show. They're both superstars, right? Mahomes, 2-time MVP, 3-time Super Bowl winner, 3-time Super Bowl MVP. And you look at what Mahomes does when people are like, oh, you're a Chiefs fan. Must be nice. Oh, yeah, I've been a Chiefs fan. Patrick Mahomes brought you from the depths of your fandom of when it was bad, right? Like 2012. And then you have Alex Smith, who kind of revamps your franchise with Andy Reid, but you lose in the playoffs every year. Just like we talk about PTSD with fans, just like what happened in the 90s with Marty Ball. You lost in the playoffs every single year. Then you went through a run where it was like, Damon Heward and Matt Castle and Tyler Thigpen and Brady Quinn and all these quarterbacks. It just didn't live up to anything, right? Like just, this is terrible. And then you get Patrick Mahomes and you're like, man, life is really sweet right now.
Yeah.
And Bobby Witt Jr., likewise, on the other side, right? First year, they lose 100 games his first year as like the guy on the roster. Tough year. Mahomes is, first year as a starter, you lose to Tom Brady in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game, and it sucks. You lost to the Yankees in the ALDS last year, and it sucked. You go on to this year, or last year, and Bobby Witt Jr. finishes second in MVP. You get all the way to the ALDS. You lose to the Yankees. You had a successful season. You win 86 games. You went from losing 100 to winning 86, pulling you out of the depths of your fandom. And then this year, you get to have that optimism of like, what's Bobby going to do this year? Well, the last 2 years, he's the only shortstop in the history of Major League Baseball to go 30 for 30 as a shortstop in the Major League Baseball world. This year, he's the odds-on favorite to win the MVP this year. Bobby Witt Jr. is a superstar. Patrick Mahomes is a superstar. What superstars do, they bring you from the depths and they show you the light and they give you that reason to have that excitement and they bring other people around as well.
Well, yeah, and that's where you have to hit the rock bottom before you can bounce back up. And, for folks who say, well, it must be nice to have Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, it is great, but it wasn't nice in 2012 when we had the season marred by a suicide and a murder and a bad football team and everything that went along with that 2012 season. You have to hit that rock bottom, and until you do, you can't bounce back up. I don't know if you've ever been, deep sea fishing or just bottom fishing before. You got to let that reel hit all the way to the bottom, and once it hits the bottom, then you can kind of bring it back up and try to catch your fish, right? You have to hit that rock bottom before you can bounce back up. The Chiefs did that in 2012, and boom, they've taken off, obviously. I think 106 losses has to be rock bottom for the Royals as a franchise, right? They were just bringing in anybody that could play in that 106 loss season, as Vern said yesterday, to see what they can do. They hit rock bottom. They said, okay, this is it. We're not going any lower. We have to bounce back up. How do we do that? Well, you invest in your team. And we had an owner that was willing to invest in the team, just like Clark Hunt was willing to invest at the time in Andy Reid and John Dorsey and Alex Smith. Our owner was willing to invest in Bobby Witt Jr., Seth Lugo, Michael Waka, guys like that going out there. Now this year, Cole Reagan's, extending him. You were willing to invest. You have to do that in order to put the best possible product out there on the field. And so we did that. We hit rock bottom 2 years ago, and now we're slowly bouncing up. And it doesn't usually happen overnight. I know the Royals in 14 and 15 and the Chiefs, the way that they did it kind of skewed everybody and think that, when you make the playoffs, you're supposed to advance to the furthest round possible. It just doesn't happen all the time like that. So this last season was a nice step off of rock bottom, and now you build on that, and you have the players and the superstar leader around you to be able to bounce back up and to be able to build off what you did last season. And that's why we talked about the optimism thing earlier. You should be optimistic about this team because every year you should be taking that next step to getting better, getting better, getting better. And I think that's where the Royals are right now.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at what those superstars do, right? You bring that into the limelight of this city, and not only does Patrick Mahomes create a new generation of fans, but he brings back generations of fans, where it's wow, they'll lose in the playoffs, and then it's okay, this kid's kind of special. He kind of does things I've never seen before. And then you look at Bobby Witt Jr., you go back-to-back 30 years, and now this year, obviously, we mentioned it in prior that he's the favorite to win the MVP, according to FanDuel, I think is what Mac had there. But, that's what's so special about these players, and that's why, you always say, enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
This is where, these guys that play for your teams are special. We enjoy, myself, you enjoy watching LeBron James's career, right? Never played for you. Just imagine what that would have been like if you grew up in Cleveland, right? Left you, came back, won a title.
What would that be? There's nothing to compare that to locally, I don't think. Obviously, I don't think anybody has that comparison. But what are you thinking if you're a Cleveland fan, right? About LeBron. What's his legacy?
I think the championship kind of debunked any sort of hatred. He came back, he did it, and then it's okay, fine, whatever. Whatever you do now, oh, you're going to go to L.A. It's always been a dream of yours to probably play for the Lakers. Cool. You want us a title? I don't care. By the way, 3 years ago is when they won on opening day, 3-1 versus the Guardians. Not 2 years ago. Thanks, Coach. Greinke was the loser. Mm-hmm. But I do want to say that, when you look at Mahomes and, you look at, my friends' kids that are, 8, 9 years old, they know nothing other than Mahomes. Same kids know nothing right now but Bobby Witt Jr. That's awesome. But it's also fun because you have so many fans that are in so many different, eras of sports following that, you have guys like my father, and then there's guys that are younger than him like you that have, sports as well that you can go back and say, yeah, you never watched George play. And, I'll one day get to tell some people, you never watched Bobby Witt Jr. play.
Right,
and it's well, what was he like? How much time do you have? Did you ever watch Patrick Mahomes play? No, I saw him at the end of his career, me watching Montana.
Yeah, that's all of us with Montana.
I only remember Joe Montana as a Chief. Mm-hmm. My biggest memory of Joe Montana is the Monday Night Miracle against John Elway. And then him getting knocked senseless against Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. That's it. But Mahomes, I could be all right, sit down. I can give you my top 10 throws, my top 10 plays, my top 10 moments, my top 10 quotes of Patrick Mahomes. And that's what these superstars tend to do is they tend to bring teams away from what was that darkness, that hatred, that, negativity. And now all of a sudden it's like we asked earlier, the optimism of the Royals season. There should always be upside optimism when Bobby Witt Jr. is on the team, especially where he's going and what he's already started to do at such a young age.
He's one of the best in baseball. One of the best, that we've seen in Kansas City. Will probably vie to be the second greatest Royal of all time at this point. Maybe at some point becomes the greatest Royal of all time. We don't know. The script is not written yet and not finished yet on Bobby Witt Jr. And so you need those superstars, though, to really have good teams. And I know Vern told us, about a half hour ago that 14-15 team didn't have that superstar. He's right. From a national level, they didn't have that superstar. But from a Kansas City level, they had superstars. Eric Hosmer was a superstar here in Kansas City.
That's kind of what
right?
I meant. I didn't mean MLB, but I knew what Vern was getting at.
But like, did they have Barry Bonds? No. Did they have Bobby Witt Jr.? No. But damn, they had Eric Hosmer, who was the superstar, rock star, superstar athlete of Kansas City 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, Eric Hosmer was Patrick Mahomes, and there was no debate. Everybody knew Hos was the guy. Got to the point where we all forgot how good Lorenzo Cain really was, and I do regret that a little bit over these last 10 or 11 years where we've had nothing but fun watching our teams play, is that I don't think I appreciated Lorenzo Cain in the moment enough because we were also focused on Moose and Haas and Yo and HDH and Salvi and all those guys. Like, Cain, I don't think, from my standpoint, I ever gave enough love and appreciation for what Lorenzo Cain was all about. But you could say he was the best player on that team, and I don't think there'd be many people that would argue with you.
Yeah, the analogy that I give to the music that you're hearing, I consider them the Mandalorians, the spinoff of the Star Wars movies, because they take you from the depths and show you the way.
Yeah.
Like, then you look at Bobby Witt Jr. and you say, wow, this team's good. It's like, this is the way.
And they've done a great job in both organizations of surrounding their superstars with good players, too. We've seen a lot of teams over the years have a superstar player. Mike Trout in Anaheim is the prime example that comes to mind, where you don't do a good enough job of surrounding those guys with other really good players. Obviously, the Chiefs have surrounded Patrick Mahomes with good players, and the Royals are surrounding Bobby Witt Jr. with good players. If it wasn't for Lugo and Watka and Vinny and Salvi and whoever else on the roster that you can point to, they wouldn't be a good team just with Bobby Witt Jr. We saw that. It was Mike Sweeney back in the day. And Mike Sweeney, kind of the Hunter Dickinson of that Royals era, right? No matter what happened, it was Sweeney's fault. He never got enough credit and enough love because they never surrounded him with anybody. They never gave him a running mate. And so now you're doing the right thing. Bobby Witt Jr. alone can't power the Royals to the World Series. But Bobby Witt Jr. can be the catalyst and the leading force to carry the Royals to the World Series as long as you continue to put a great supporting cast around them, which is what JJ and company have done.
Yeah, you've definitely seen new moves with this ownership with a superstar like Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Ownership is so big right now.
Right. And you look what Clark Hunt did. He's like, you know what? Enough of this. I got to save my own ass. I'm going to go get Andy Reid and tell him whatever you want, figure it out.
Right.
Maybe. I'm not saying that he's ever going to have that legacy, but whereas Andy Reid meshes well with Patrick Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes meshes well with Andy Reid, a guy like Vernon just described us with Bobby Witt Jr., who's the superstar that doesn't really have a whole lot of rah-rah in him because he just lets his talent show, needs a guy like Matt Quatraro, who's very calm, cool, collected, and just kind of like, I trust my guys to do what they're going to do, and that's what we do, and we win games. So you go from 56 wins to 86 wins. Optimism's always there with this team, with the Royals, when they have Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, and Matt Quatraro leading the spearheaded monster. Whereas in the Kansas City Chiefs, you have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, Chris Jones.
And if the Royals continue on that same trek, they'll win 116 this year, right?
Hopefully.
Get 30 more wins than they did a season ago would be
Hammer
very
the
nice.
over and wins.
Yeah, right? And Q's perfect for that because he lets his guys do his thing. They're not getting in the way. He goes, I'm going to go watch an episode of Cheers, Bobby. You go out there and make a few plays. We'll see you at the end of the game. I mean, it's pretty simple.
I'm going to listen to Fish.
Oh, he's the Dead.
Yeah, but I mean, they're both in the same family. Like, if you're a Dead fan, you're probably a Fish fan.
Are you? Do you? Is it one of those where you like have to be a Fish fan if you're a Dead fan?
No, but you respect it. It's
Okay.
like, I think like the tiers of like Grateful Dead is like, obviously you're a Dead person, right? And then you're
hope
into
you're
like,
alive.
you're into Fish, you're into Widespread Panic, and then you're kind of the modern age. You're probably, maybe not everybody, but a lot of them are into like Dave Matthews, jam bands.
Yeah, jam
Like,
bands.
That's the genre.
Yeah, I think that's a good question for Q when we have him on when we get ready to kind of start the season. Is like, where are you with music now? You know?
Yeah, I bet he's probably a big fan of Dave. Like my generation's Dave was like OAR.
Yeah.
Like-
OAR was real. I saw them at the River Market one
Yeah,
time.
they were frat rock.
Yeah, they were really good. I liked them.
City on Down, banger. Delicate Few, great song. Either way,
Great concert.
speaking of college, Bill Self letter released a statement?
Yeah, released a statement on Sunday about these losers with the racist stuff,
Yeah, tough.
with KJ or with Mayo. And then it's kind of backtracking on
And
it.
he said, maybe I shouldn't have done it because it gives fuel to those dumbasses.
Yeah, which I disagree with. I mean, what Bill Self did was leadership. He took control of that situation and basically went out there and said, we don't do this. That's what leaders do. Leaders don't always make the easy decision. They make the hard decision. They make the difficult decision. And the difficult decision for Bill Self was probably to go out there and rip those people for saying what they said about Zeke Mayo and the racist comments and the ignorant comments that were made out there. And I saw Bill yesterday tell Seth Davis at Seth Davis Hoops that I shouldn't have done that. And I think he said putting people on blast as it gives them more oxygen. No, I think by going out there and ripping those players, you show your players inside that locker room that you have their backs. You took all the pressure off of Zeke Mayo and off of your team and put it right on yourself. And you said, no, we're not going to do this. This is not how we're going to behave. And I am going to stand up for my guys. And I think that goes a long way. Whether it gives those guys credence or not that said the nasty stuff to Mayo, Bill Self did what he needed to do to defend his players and to stand up for his players. And I think that's a leadership role for Bill Self. Leadership is hard. Leadership isn't about making the fun decision. It's about making the hard and the right decision. And to go out there and put those people on blast like Bill Self did, that's leadership in its finest. And I love the fact that he did that. And he should not be apologizing for doing that and putting those losers on blast.
I get what he's saying though, because it's like why bring those people to the light? It's kind of like when you say like, yeah, if you get a negative text, like you don't need to read that.
Right.
Like, just let them have their time and then move on. So I mean, I get it. Like
I think this has been piling up though,
for sure.
All year.
Well, he had the press conference not too long ago where he was like, we just need to get away from each other.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, then you have this happen, and it's like, you guys just need to, understand that it's more than just a game. Obviously, if you're still racist in 2025, you get effed.
Yeah, exactly. Like seriously, if you're still carrying around these racist tendencies, go pound sand, right?
No doubt.
Like, but I also think like that could probably help maybe bring these guys together. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know at the end of the day how they galvanize around, kind of being attacked on social media. But I do know that if they're looking around in that locker room, they know their coach has their back, and that's the most important thing. It's not about the perception of how Bill Self looks to us or to these guys or anything like that. It's how does he come across to his players? He's the leader of that team. How does he come across? Does he have their back? And Bill Self showed you he's got the backs of his players. And at a time like this, where they're having a non-KU like season, to get out there and to have the backs of your players, man, that's a big move by Bill Self.
One game left in the regular season for Bill Self. Arizona at home, senior night.
Yeah.
Hopefully Fran Fracello's not doing it because he hates it. They're a little late, but still got time for On the Come here on Fescoe and Dusty, 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Fescoe, Dusty, and Mac. My On the Come is John Shire.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
You want to talk about a shadow that you have to overcome and a university that is absolutely insane to be productive and productive now. You went and got the number one recruit in the nation, the number one player in college basketball. And I'll tell you this right now, I'm going to go on the record and say it, Duke will win the national championship.
Yeah.
All righty.
And I know that's
With
maybe
3 freshmen starting.
And maybe that's not
What's it matter anymore?
Right? Like, I mean,
I think it matters.
I mean, Houston's one of the best teams in the nation. They have a lot of senior loaded talent.
They do. Yep.
But again, what he's done with that university this year, like with all the pressure he's had with Coach K, with the pressure of getting Cooper Flagg, I've watched probably every Duke game for the last 3 weeks, and that team is insane. That team is rolling. That team, I know, played Wake Forest last night at home, but they almost beat them by 40.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, that's insane. And they've almost beat other teams by 30. Like, go look and try to put a spread on Duke. It's 20 to 22 almost every single night. So John Shire doing a lot of things at Duke. I know it's not hard because it is Duke, but look at Kansas. Look at North Carolina. Look at these Blue Bloods. They ain't really that relevant this year. Duke, John Shire on the come.
Yeah, and my kind of on the come are the non-traditional college basketball programs right now. And like I said, I was talking to my man Vic at the J yesterday. He goes, I don't understand how this kid got out of Kansas and went to Iowa State, Missouri. Money. The landscape of college sports is drastically changing, and you have to be willing to accept it, right? It's not the way it used to be anymore. If there's one thing in sports that's not the way it used to be, it's college sports right now. And if you don't embrace what's going on, you're probably going to get left behind. You're probably not going to like what's going on, and you're probably going to have college sports taken out of your life because you're not adjusting to the new age of college basketball. Kids aren't staying home. Kids don't care about the logo on the front of the jersey. They care about the check at the back end. That's all they care about right now in college sports. And so that's why a kid from Wichita goes to Iowa State, then transfers to Missouri and doesn't give Kansas or Kansas State the time of day because the money was bigger from all these. So these non-traditional powers. Number one team is Auburn. I know they've been good lately. That's not a traditional college basketball program. They're number one in the nation. Houston's number 3 in the nation. St. John's is number 6 in the nation. Alabama football school's number 7 in the nation. Texas Tech is number 9 in the nation. Look at that top 10 of all these non-traditional college basketball powers. What you saw right
Tennessee's
there,
up there.
Tennessee, but I'm a Rick Barnes fan. You wouldn't have included them, right?
As a traditional basketball school?
Yeah.
I mean,
but they've been really.
That's fair.
They've been good.
They've had a really good decade.
They have. Rick Barnes is a nice coach,
amazing.
right? He's done a really good job there.
Great guy.
Texas got rid of him, and they've had 10 coaches since. But I look at those non-traditional powers. This is what the NIL is all about. Giving people the opportunity to win where they've never won before. Can we flip the script and do that in football? Boise State, SMU, those two teams were in the national championship bracket this year, right? Those are non-traditional college basketball or college football power. So this is what the NIL has done. It's given these teams and universities and players and fan bases opportunities to see their teams win and have success. And so that's why I say non-traditional college basketball powers. BYU's in the top 25, and they still don't have that $7 million player there. So that's where I am with it right now. So college basketball, non-traditional powers, they're on the come.
On the come. On the come.
Hey, your top 10: Auburn, Duke, Houston, Tennessee, Florida, St. John's, Alabama, Michigan State, Texas Tech, Iowa State.
It's crazy.
And Iowa State's always been good. They've
Yeah.
not always been a top 10.
Top 10, no.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
I
good
mean,
for
Missouri being a top 15 team, Memphis being a top 16 team, St. Mary's top 21, BYU. I mean, Mississippi State. Look at these teams that
Yeah.
are not normally up there
weird.
that
It's
now
awesome.
have that opportunity. That's the NIL working. It may not work right the way you want it over in Lawrence, right? But it's working for a lot of other non-traditional college basketball powers.
On the come. On the come. On the come. Coming up on the other side, music that played the most when you graduated high school. We'll define what we have for our years here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
On the come. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty
What the hell's wrong with your station?
on Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Foaling are doing an unbelievable job, and it's time for you to go check them out. Have you gone Foaling yet? If the answer is no, what are you waiting for? It is the coolest activity right now in Kansas City, and it's perfect for everyone. On a day like today, maybe you want to do something fun with the kiddos after school. Take them to Foaling. A day like tomorrow, maybe a blizzard warning out there. You want to get inside and do something fun? Take your kiddos Foaling. In fact, take a date Foaling. Go out there on a work party. Have a charity event there. It doesn't matter. Foaling is perfect for everyone. And Foaling is football plus bowling plus bar, and that's Foaling Warehouse, Kansas City. They're located at 435 in State Line. It's bowling with a football. You're going to set up the pins just like you would in bowling, and you're going to throw that football at them, knock them down. First one to knock all the pins down wins, and everybody has a great time. You're also going to learn about the bonk horn. What that is this loud hockey horn that goes off when you hit that 5-pin. It goes down all by itself. Lay on that bonk horn and put your name on the wall, and everybody think you're a superstar when it comes to the game of foaling. So you can reserve a lane now at foalingkc.com. That's foalingkc.com, and get your foal on.
College basketball is reaching its most exciting stretch of the season. Right now, new customers on FanDuel get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $150 extra bucks to bet on everything from conference clashes to tournament upsets and even who's cutting down the nets. If you've been waiting to join FanDuel, there's no better time. The app's easy to use, and when you win, you'll get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/Alex and get on the college hoops action before March takes over. FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
I'm rehearsing. There are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on them.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line.
Additional terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Choose Syntec full synthetic motor oil designed for today's engines exclusively at your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Choose Syntec full synthetic motor oil designed for today's engines exclusively at your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Honey, it's me, your wife. Sorry to bother you, but this house is a mess. The windows are drafty, the vinyl siding has cracks and holes in it, and the kids just fell through the deck. We need Powell Exteriors KC now. They install James Hardie siding, Provia windows, Renaissance patio products, beautiful decks, roofing, and more, all at 0% interest for 18 months. Go to powellkc.com and see for yourself. Powell Exteriors KC. The best decision you've made since you married me.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Everyone deserves to elevate their beef. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal they'll never forget or impress your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, their Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 435 westbound, sluggish from Holmes to the state line. Heading on the Kansas side, 35 northbound, off again, on again, slowdowns to the merge with 69 highway up towards Mission with construction at the Mission Road exit. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
But above all this, I wish you love. And
She's singing into a tuna can? There we go. Tell her, Whitney. Pretty sure Dolly did it first.
Rest in peace to Dolly Parton's husband.
Yeah.
She's single now?
Yeah.
That's too soon. Come on, Dusty. Smash or pass.
What year was this from?
This song is from, I guarantee. Okay, so when did, I'm going to say 1991. Is that when Bodyguard came out?
No, you're close.
Very close.
93?
Yes, 1993. Why did you choose this one to play of all the songs?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Well, how old would you be right now if you were born in 90, or if you were 18 and 93?
Yeah, if you graduated in 93, you would be, I graduated in 95. I'll be so you'd be 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of 50-year-olds listen to the radio.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
They're
Yeah.
probably like, yeah, that song played a lot when I graduated.
Yeah, right. That was every freaking song.
Yeah, I felt like out of the one, I guess out of the ones that I wrote down, which was like 30, I thought that was like the best known song. I went with it.
Okay, so like MSN did what was the number one pop song the year you graduated high school? I'm like, oh, let's see where our age ranges differ from this. I gotta say, I hate to be that guy. I win, and I think I win by a long shot
Not
with
even
my
close.
song, right?
To me, I don't think it's close. I think Dusty's is good.
My song sucks.
Really?
Yes.
What's yours again? Oh, wait, let's start with Bob's. We'll introduce each of our songs.
Mine is "Gangster Paradise" by Coolio. I mean, that is a great song. That was the number one most popular, if you will, pop song when I graduated high school back in 1995.
You think Max ever heard Amish Paradise?
No.
For sure, of course.
Oh, you have?
Weird Al?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
Weird
right.
Al, absolutely.
There's some respect on his name.
Yeah,
All
of
right.
course.
All right. I'm glad you did. That's
was
good.
you like a Weird Al Yankovic fan? You know how he got the last name Yankovic? Respect. The Ollie G Show.
So good.
This is actually from a really good movie too.
Yes, Beautiful Minds. Yeah.
I wish.
Yes, it wasn't Beautiful Minds?
No, that's Russell Crowe.
What the hell movie was it then?
Dangerous Minds.
Dangerous Minds. That's it, yeah.
That's like prime Michelle Pfeiffer, boy. Like that was coming off that cat suit in Tim Burton's Batman Returns. And then she became the teacher. And then this movie got remade by a bunch of other movies. Because what was that other one that came out? He's like, how can I reach these kids?
Yeah, that's pretty much the basis of every movie that gets released.
6
man.
times 9.
This was like Lean on
54.
Me. You know.
I forget what that movie's called. Yeah, the topic that we're doing is the top pop songs that came out.
Year you graduated
high school. So 18 years old, maybe 17. Maybe some of you were degenerates and graduated at 19. Either way. Didn't want to put a year or an age on it, just when you graduated high school. Mac, what song came out last year for you? Just kidding. Joking. You've been graduated for almost 10 years now.
Mine is, that's weird. That's
Try
not good.
30.
Yeah, no, that's not, I don't like that
Weird.
either.
10.
Next year's 20 for me.
Shape of You by Ed Sheeran, which was better than I thought. I was
Shape
expecting
of
some like
You.
Lil Yachty, just some rap that it was
Right.
like. I would
It's
have
pop.
It's
The
pop,
category's
yeah.
pop, not rap.
Okay, that's fair. I just was thinking top songs.
Well, I
so
mean,
pop,
they put
pop,
the
pop.
song in, yeah. I mean, that's rap, but it's also pop.
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
fine
line. Yeah,
Ed Sheeran and Yeah in the same category. Yeah, love when the shape
Gangster's
of
Paradise sure as hell ain't pop.
but it was back then. It was like on all the top 40 stations.
Yeah, that's
man.
fair.
Like it was.
In
yeah.
the Club by 50 Cent in 2003 sure as hell ain't pop.
It's a good one.
But it was also so many airplay. Like everybody knew that. Like it does fall into that category.
It's one of
I
our
think.
bumper
Yeah.
songs. People
Yeah.
still love it. What was yours, Dusty? You were 05, so you're right after.
Yeah, mine was Bad Day by Daniel Pounder.
see, come
Oh
on, I
yeah. Yes, you had a bad day.
That song sucks.
I like that song. I think Mac and I like that song.
Why are you
yeah.
reminding me that I had a bad day? Shut the
It's a-
hell up.
It's a good song. I like it.
Well, he's saying you had a bad day. It's okay, bro. You're good.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's terrible.
One hit wonder for Daniel.
Artist of the Decade by the end of 2009.
How many artists are not one-hit wonders? I bet you it's a very small percentage that are not one-hit wonders and are one-hit wonders.
Troy Brooks had a lot of hits.
He did, a lot. Natalie Imbruglia is a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a luck, fool? Golly, Stam Pounder. Is that his name? No, that's a quarterback. Daniel Pounder. Because you had a bad day. That's what I get when I graduate high school. Because you had a bad day. You stubbed your effing toe.
Blame the folks at 99.7 The Point for playing it.
Ugh. I mean, that is just, you graduate high school, you had a bad day. No, I had a really fun year. I loved it. I did not have a bad day, Mr.
Daniel.
Pounder. Yeah. One hit wonder.
It's better than Believe by Cher in 1999.
Speak for yourself.
Oh.
That song bangs.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm sure I know it. I just
Do
can't
you
think.
believe
Oh,
in
okay,
life after love,
That's a
after
great
love,
one.
after love?
Yeah, it's awesome in the movie Land of the Lost.
I
Underrated
can
Will Ferrell
feel
movie.
it in myself. It's all beatboxed up and generated with computers.
Oh, you're talking about the song. Physical by Olivia Newton-John.
What year was that?
1982.
That's awesome.
That's
what a
when
great song.
Great, better video.
Better video, yeah. Do you even know what a video is, Mac?
Okay, he's not like he's 8.
You said he graduated high school last year.
That is funny, yeah. That was an unnecessary
Is that the
shot.
Let's Get
Physical.
All right.
Physical. I want to get physical. Let's get physical.
R.I.P. Bryan Adams?
My wife loves Bryan
Really?
Adams. Oh, yeah.
The song always reminds me of Robin Hood.
Bryan Adams goes on. She gets real excited.
It is Tuesday.
It is, I know, yeah. That's
For
early.
the appetizer, I'll have Bryan Adams, and for my main course, I'll have Bob Fescoe.
Want to win, Jen?
Yeah,
What year was this one?
Ask Jen.
This was 91.
That's probably the year she graduated high school.
Okay, that makes sense. There you go.
I think 91 or 92. Yeah. Maybe even earlier. She's ancient.
Listener Blair, my guy, wants to know what was 1996. The Macarena.
Still being played at every wedding that's out there.
And still nobody knows the meaning of that song, except for one. It is about prostitution.
Really?
Check it out.
Why do we all dance to it like it's...
Yeah, what?
One Macarena, two Macarena, three Macarena, cosa
All
vida.
right, let's get Aunt Mabel and Grandma on the dance floor. It's the Macarena.
I mean, you got a grandma to do the Macarena. I'll be right out there in about 2 seconds.
Whew.
Yeah. Macarena, Blair. There you go. Hey Jude, 1968 young boy here. There you go. Oh, I'm so old. Eye of the Tiger and I Love Rock and Roll. With or Without You by U2 is number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 in May 1987.
Wow.
Is that from the Joshua Tree?
I think it is, yeah. The number 1 pop song, though, when you graduated in 87 was Walk Like an Egyptian.
Cranberries? That's not who sings that, is it?
Walk
No,
Like
I
an
don't think
Egyptian,
so.
the
It's
Bengals.
The Bengals, yeah. Belinda Carlisle.
Yeah, remember,
I
'cause
think
we
it was
played
Tiffany,
that.
actually.
We played that the week we played the Bengals.
Yeah, that's right. Bruce Hornsby on the Range, 1986? Hell yeah.
You're on the wrong list because I got That's What Friends Are For by Dionne Warwick. Unless Mac typed the wrong list.
No, you put him in there. But yeah, those are the songs. If you want, we can link this on our Twitter page, the Fan 965. You can go look up your song, and then on your way home, you can play it on your aux cord or whatever you use for music, Spotify, Apple Music, Bluetooth, however you do it. But coming up on the other side, Start, Bench, Cut here on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac as well. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, Missouri sports fans, I've got great news for you because the Underdog app is available right now to play in Missouri. And this basketball season, when your favorite stars score buckets, we're alley-ooping you an opportunity to win money from watching sports with the Underdog app. I love using the Underdog app. I like it for football. I like it for hockey. I like it for basketball. I like combining all the sports into one bet. It's so much fun with Underdog. It's one of the leading sports apps, and you can play right now in the state of Missouri. To play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower than one of their stats when it comes to points, assists, rebounds, so much more. And like I said, they got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from, so you can create all entries with basketball selections or mix and match across other sports. Plus, you can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn $1 into 1,000 just with your sports knowledge. Download the Underdog app and sign up now using promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code BOB. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-4605. 800-390-4605. 800-390-4605.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Taxes was taxing. Now taxes is relaxing when you file for free.
I can file for free? TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. I can file for free.
Now this is taxes. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your maximum refund. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free.
Royals coverage sponsored by Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer and Jersey Mike's Month of Giving.
Join us in supporting Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer and Jersey Mike's Month of Giving. Visit any Casey, Topeka, or Lawrence Jersey Mike's and donate. You can also donate through the Jersey Mike's app. Help the fight against childhood cancer with Braden's Hope and Jersey Mike's.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 435 westbound, very slow from 103rd Street to the state line, where there's a stalled truck blocking the left center lane. Kansas side, 35 northbound, you hit some heavy traffic around Antioch, stays pretty slow up past 635. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
This is the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for K-State Athletics. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
It is 9 o'clock here on 96.5 The Fan. You followed us on The Fan 965 on Twitter or our Instagram page, The Fan 965, Facebook as well. Announcement here exclusively on 96.5 The Fan. Friday, March 28th, starting at 6 o'clock.
That's 24 days from now.
That's right. Friday, March 28th, starting at 6 o'clock, the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. You can go join Josh Vernier, who will be with Michael Massey and Kyle Isbell. They will do a Q&A at 6 p.m., a meet and greet with the players around 6:45 p.m. It is free, and it is open to the public. And 96.5 The Fan staff will all be in attendance.
Binkley!
96.5 The Fan staff will all be in attendance.
Yes, sir. How much does it cost?
Free.
Wow.
Friday, March 28th, starting at 6 o'clock, the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino. Our guy, Josh Vernier, will be there with Michael Massey and Kyle Isbell. They will do a Q&A at 6 p.m., starting a meet and greet with the players around 6:45. It is free, and it is open to the public. And
is it open to the public?
Yeah, and all the 96.5 staff members will be in attendance. So.
I heard commercials for that earlier. Is that what, the same thing?
That's right.
Cool. All right. So Friday, March 28th, be there, Hollywood Casino. You think Harrington will be there?
He has to be.
Okay.
He'll be there right after his show ends.
Okay.
And then we can go hit the floor. You know what I mean? Go play a little blackjack.
Yes, sir.
Go play a little craps, which I have no idea how to play.
Me either.
But don't
bet the come line.
I was going to say, I know it's on the come.
Pretty simple.
That's what they say. Bet the come line. So that's the announcement. Friday, March 28th, 6 o'clock, free to the public, open to everyone. Vern will be there with Massey and Kyle Isbell. Q&A, not Q the manager, but questions and answers.
Right.
From Michael Massey and Kyle Isbell, plus a meet and greet around 6:45. We'll all be there. Be great to see you really kick off the baseball season. For those who are asking, that's why they don't play that Friday game, because the round table.
Because of the round table.
That
That's
we're going
right.
to do at the Hollywood Casino is why they took the game off. So radio does win every once in a while.
Or it's going to rain on Thursday and the game will be Friday and this will end up being canceled.
No.
Bob Fescoe, everybody.
I've been looking at that 45. Rob Maloney's sending me the 45-day forecast. I go, do you think it's going to rain on opening day? It's supposed to be 67 and rain. I'm like, look, man, the 45 day says it's going to rain. I don't know what to tell you right at this point in time.
Somebody said on the text line, could you imagine if this was the song that played when you were 18 graduating high school?
Sweet. And I promise you'll be able to understand all the words. Not like Sting, where you can only understand the last three.
Samma stanna still hem live la foule, starting up a brand new day.
I love it. That's right. All right, let's get into start bench cut here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan.
Here's Fescoe, Dusty, and Mac with this week's edition of Start Bench Cut.
Want to bring this one up because we got some start bench cuts for you. 913-586-7965. That is the J Southland Tow Service text line. That is the sponsor of the start bench cut segment. 913-586-7965. J Southland Tow Service text line and start bench cut. We talked about a couple of these names earlier. You got Godwin, Slay, Horton. Godwin is not going to get the franchise tag from Tampa Bay. Darius Slay is going to be released, and Wharton is going to see what he can get in the market or maybe come back to Kansas City. So, start, bench, cut, Mr. Fescoe.
I'm going to start Wharton, bench Godwin, cut Slay.
I have no rebuttal to that.
Yeah, I agree. I think my heart might say start Godwin, but my brain is like, nah, dude, start Wharton.
You have one defensive tackle
come
on the roster signed. You have Rice and Worthy. But Godwin would be good because I think there's a chance that Rashee Rice could get suspended.
Oh, wow.
I heard that somewhere.
Okay. Breaking news.
Was that new?
Yeah, there's a chance. So you might need a receiver because he might get suspended. Slay, too old. We talked ourselves out of that one.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Bob brought up a good point about Brett Veach saying, like, what's he do in the past? Draft and develop corners. I get it. Slay's a big body guy that can go against big body receivers. But again, I'll trust the JAP process.
Yeah, exactly.
With what's already been there and
100%.
proof in the pudding.
There's a track record, right? There's a big track record at that position specifically. And again, in the NFL, you're not getting rid of players that you still think you could that can play. Salary cap is not a reason to cut somebody. You figure those things out. It's mythical money. If a guy can still play, they're going to be on the roster. Philadelphia is letting this guy go, so they feel like he probably can't play that much anymore. And he's 34.
I mean, we heard what Darren Woodson said. When did you know you were done? When a practice squad player went by me, I didn't even know it was me.
Like, who's that?
It's like,
oh,
damn,
wait, that's
dude.
me.
Who's that guy on film that looks oh, my God, that's me.
Be like 55 years old. Who came up with that topic on the radio? That was you, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
I'll take the Jimmy Johnson way out.
Yeah.
Right in the Jimmy Johnson. We continue on Start Bench Cut, brought to you by J Southland Tow Service. Stanley Humphries and Alex Kappa when it comes to left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Now, Alex Kappa is a guard. He did play left tackle in college, was drafted by the Buccaneers as a left tackle, played 2 years in the tackle position, then moved over to guard.
That's why he's here.
And that's why he's out and cut. And so
he did it last year.
I don't need that again. I'm gonna start Ronnie Stanley. I'm gonna bench DJ Humphries, and I'm gonna cut Alex Kappa. No cap.
What? Oh, God. I just know his daughters are rolling their eyes right there.
That was so good. No cap.
Your room's dirty. That's Cap, Dad. Oh, I'll get you back.
Yeah, then their rooms are dirty.
Yeah. Treat it like a hotel room.
Yeah.
Do you see that Jimmy Butler story? That's wild.
I
He's
saw
being
something.
sued?
Yeah, I saw something vaguely about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Never went back to it. Yeah.
And in Miami, he had to rent a house and he just destroyed it and moved and never cleaned it.
What?
Never he's getting sued for failed rent payments and just type in Jimmy Butler and hotel or whatever it is staying house.
Yeah, apparently he destroyed
And
this
then just
place he was
left.
living and just left.
He's I got traded because that works in life too.
Exactly.
I just leave.
Who destroys houses? I never understood that.
Willie Gay.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Sorry. I think I'd probably go Stanley, Humphries, Kappa.
Yeah.
I'm with Bob on that one just because, Stanley's got the track record. I know he's been injured, but he blocks for Lamar, who's a movable quarterback. Mahomes doesn't really stand still either, so I feel like it wouldn't be as tough for him. Humphreys, the same thing, injuries. The other thing you got to look at is what are their arm sizes?
Their arm length.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go different. I'm gonna start Humphreys and I'll bench Stanley and I'll cut Alex Kappa.
Explain why you went starting Humphreys.
Money. He's actually a little younger too. He's coming off that injury, but he was just as good as Ronnie Stanley was when he was healthy, and he's gonna be cheaper.
Okay, great point.
Yeah.
Right.
Moving on, we go to the wide receivers that are still available out there, according to sources. Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Devontae Adams. Start
Didn't we
bench
just do
cut.
Godwin?
Yeah, but now we're doing it with other receivers.
Oh, with other receivers.
Yeah, we're just doing receivers in general that are out there. These were the first time we did it was like additions to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I'm going to start Godwin, I think, of that bunch. Bench Cooper Kupp and cut Devontae Adams.
I'll start Godwin, bench Adams, cut Kupp.
I'm with you.
You there?
I think the downfall happened with Kupp last year.
Me too.
I think we finally kind of saw him become more mortal than he was immortal when he won that Triple Crown.
I think we're going to see that with Devontae Adams this year, though.
Could.
Yeah,
I thought that
fair.
was last year, and then he had that one game where he had like 3 touchdowns, like 215 yards, wherever the hell it was.
I think that was their last home game together, and so you knew they were going to do that. I think I won some cash on that, betting Devontae Adams.
You did it.
anytime
I remember you did
touchdown,
win
right?
some cash on that.
Oh, that's good.
So, like, they can do what they want to do when they want to do it type of thing, you know?
Remember that cringy announcement that he was going to join the Jets, and he was on McAfee's show. They're sitting on the computer, and Rodgers just like staring at the computer, looking like that guy that had a mullet on Radio Row. And then Devontae Adams came from behind. It was like,
What's up, man? Everyone's like, oh.
we're 1 win better. We're going to beat the Houston Texans.
I mean, they were no better with Aaron Rodgers than they were with Zach Wilson.
Nope.
We move on to the quarterback carousel. The next domino to fall, start, bench, cut. Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers. Salary cap, or the franchise tag ends today, being able to place it at 3 o'clock Central Time. Darnold not being discussed for that franchise tag. So Darnold, Cousins, Rodgers, start, bench, cut.
I would probably start Cousins, bench Darnold, cut Rodgers.
Starting Cousins.
Yeah. More of a track record than Darnold.
Okay.
More of a track record. You know, Darnold was really, really good last year. It's 1 year, right?
Cousins was really, really bad last year.
I know, but he still has the track record and whatnot.
you're saying, all right,
maybe he's over the
year off the injury,
Achilles.
yeah.
So that's why. Yeah.
I get that.
I'll take the guy that never had a ruptured Achilles to start first. I would then take Kirk Cousins, and then the New York Giants' next quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron
gets cut.
Rodgers, yeah.
The Meadowlands and Rodgers.
I'll start Darnold. Part of me wants to bench Rodgers. I don't know. I feel like he could maybe have more of a ceiling than Cousins. Looks pretty bad. I don't know. I'll bench Cousins, cut Rodgers, but it's close.
What if Rodgers does come back and play well, though,
looks
right?
okay.
Yeah. And then they go, oh, my God, the Jets really were bad.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe maybe the reason not there is because his stats in Madden just aren't as good as they used to be.
It's true. Yeah.
And the reason he went there is because the stats in Madden were from 2007 when the kids were playing with the Packers.
Exactly.
That's right.
The last one we get to is salad dressings. I got to add one at the end of this, but we go Caesar, Greek. Oh, these are salads.
Yeah,
okay,
salad.
salad. Caesar salad, Greek salad, house salad.
I'm going to start the Greek salad from Southside Bar and Grill. It may
Knew
be
it.
the best. Oh, my God.
Knew you were gonna do that.
The Greek salad at Southside Bar and Grill is just the best.
I need to try it.
I will bench the Caesar and then cut the house salad because you can get a house salad anywhere.
Yeah, I think I'll go that direction too.
You can't get it in an apartment.
What do you say?
You can't get a house salad in an apartment.
Go to break.
He said he could anyway.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
Well, we're looking at springtime, right? And it is time to get that front lawn, backyard, all your lawn looking great. And Aspen Lawn and Pest Control can help you with that. I'm excited about the pest control part, too, because we love sitting outside, but we also hate those mosquitoes and those bugs. So Aspen Lawn and Pest Control can help us with those bugs in our backyard. In fact, they're going to help us with the lawn in front of our house as well. It's never been good. And for the last 3 years, I've been battling and fighting and trying to figure out how I'm going to grow grass with all these roots still underneath the ground. And I'm waving the white flag. The professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control are going to take over. They went to college for this kind of stuff. I didn't. So I'm going to trust the college-educated professionals with my lawn. And they get the job done right the first time. You see those iconic blue trucks all over Kansas City, right? Where are they? They're parked in front of the best lawns in town. And at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, they've been offering great services since 1985 that include full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. Right now at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, you can get a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you tell them you heard it right here on 96.5 The Fan. So expect the best. Don't wait. Visit them today at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
I'm rehearsing. There are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks #1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on them.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line.
Additional terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What would you do if you could go back in time with the tap of a button?
Watch the ancient Egyptians build the pyramids?
How'd they do it?
Buy enough Bitcoin to purchase your very own private island.
Or maybe just skip the joke that flopped at the holiday party.
Unfortunately, we haven't figured out how to rewind time. But you can rewind live shows with the free Odyssey app.
Never miss your favorite sports talk again. To get started, download Odyssey and search for your station.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and you've heard me talk a lot about how treating low testosterone can improve your sleep, your workouts, your energy levels, and more. But today I want to talk to you about your sex drive, because low testosterone can have a significant impact on your desire for intimacy. It can even be a factor in erectile dysfunction, and if you're in a relationship or wanting to be in a relationship, a low sex drive could really be a problem. The good news is that if you're like most guys, treating your low testosterone could really change the way you feel about sex, giving you back the flame and desire that is so important when you love someone. So if you're feeling sluggish and tired, if you're not sleeping well, if your workouts aren't that great, and most of all, if your sex drive is more like a putt, make an appointment at Heartland Men's Health and have your testosterone levels checked. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Today, expect rain with a high of 60.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Couple of texts come in from the other side of the break when we did Start Bench Cut. Start Bench Cut, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Jason Lockenfora.
Oh, yeah, cut him, yeah.
I thought Schultz would be on that list.
Jordan Schultz should be start.
Yeah, then I don't need the other two. Insiders. Adam Schefter had sex one time, broke story. Cool, bro.
Great.
That's
How
awesome.
about enjoy the time with your wife and not worry about some loser offensive lineman signing somewhere that nobody knows?
Did we know that it was his wife?
I don't know.
Must not have been memorable.
I mean, the people who are prioritizing breaking a news story about some offensive lineman or whatever, whoever signed over the time with your wife, like, get your priorities straight, pal.
And then to respect the text from the 913, you might not be able to get a house salad in an apartment, but you can get a tossed salad in an apartment.
That's right.
Respect the text.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I've really started to love the older I get? Because I'm with you on Greek salads. They are just insane. I can't wait to try that. Really, really love the green goddess dressing.
Oh, I was thinking about it. I actually texted a friend of mine the other day. I go, when was the last time you had green goddess dressing?
It's on the come.
But it's mayonnaise, and I can't.
So is Caesar, so is ranch.
No, there's no mayo in Caesar if you do it the right way. There's no mayo in that at all.
There's anchovies in Caesar.
You can say no if you don't want that. I can't. The mayo for me, I'm out on. I don't.
Because Panera's got these sandwiches out right now that are on the Asiago cheese bagel. I don't know if that's like, you're a bagel lord. Like, you come from, like, bagel country.
Mm-hmm.
Is Asiago like that's not
it's
a real
fake
thing?
bagel.
That's what I thought. But
I
it's
don't
so
eat bagels
good.
outside of New Jersey. I'll just be honest with you.
Most traditional Caesar salad dressings do contain mayonnaise.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the guy that worked in the restaurant industry for like 15 years doesn't know anything.
I mean,
about
get
dressing.
Jasper on the phone, though. I don't think there's mayonnaise in that. Like, if you
Let's go to the one guy.
But no, look up the original Caesar dressing from the Caesar Hotel in Tijuana, Mexico.
You're adding all these like outliers.
But because people take something that was original and then they create something that they call it that, and it's not the same thing. Like, have you ever bought a bottle of Caesar salad dressing? It tastes like nothing that you get ever.
I don't know. I just watched Caesar dressing get made like half of my life, and like it was always like, you like ranch, but you don't like mayonnaise. I'm like, no, not when it's raw. And that's when I found out anchovies were in Caesar dressing, because you can't. What do you call those people? Vegetarians can't have Caesar dressing because it has anchovies in it.
Oh, yeah.
Found that out the hard way working at Blue Moose for like a week.
How was that?
They had crab cakes that were pretty good, but that's about all I remember.
Why'd you only work there a week?
Because my manager moved to a different location. The pink stuff from Pizza Shop. Yeah, that's good. That's like a garlic dressing. God, green goddess. Asiago bagel, turkey, avocado, cheese, tomato, lettuce, and green goddess dressing.
Here it is, the amazing Caesar dressing, anchovy paste, olive oil, and high-quality cheese. The story behind the original Caesar dressing. The original. I don't want some fake Americanized version.
Right.
The dressing, unique concoction of garlic, Worcestershire, croutons, Parmesan cheese tossed with romaine lettuce, soon became a sensation. Today, we still relish this creamy, tangy dressing, which has been modified and refined over time, which means making it worse.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could, yeah. You know, the original ranch wasn't made in Hidden Valley. It was in Silicon Valley.
But it was probably made with mayonnaise. I mean, why take something that was good and then try to F it all up?
Cheap.
That's fair.
Cut it out. Yeah.
It's a good point. That's the answer to everything.
Probably everything, yep.
Speaking
my
of
dad
cheap,
taught me money.
Couple things in this segment that kind of throughout the day have happened. Number one, UNC is not going to be on Hard Knocks, as it fell through when they had negotiations.
Yeah.
I've got my speculations on what probably didn't go through. I assume that the cameras probably want to be around Bill and his house and his relationship a lot. And I think that there was probably discussion there. It was like, yeah, no way. You guys are just going to kind of exploit the weirdness that is, I mean, kind of weird. And she's 24 or whatever, and he's like 76.
I mean, it's a 50-year age gap here.
And I think that was probably going to be what they were going to sell the show on.
Or they would make her and him look like the most crazy couple ever.
It would be Desperate Housewives.
Yeah.
And then it would be like, they're no longer together. She'd have a spinoff, and then it would be like the new Bachelorette.
Right.
The former, what would have been Miss Belichick, which I still, in my weird world of media, I think Ben Maller would love this topic. I think that's going to happen. Like, I just don't see this lasting just because 50-year age gap.
What do you talk about? I mean, honestly, like, I know
football.
I know people say, well, she's hot and he's good for it. But, like, there eventually has to be some sort of dialogue that takes place, right? Can Bill Belichick and her sit there and have, like, what's relatable to the man was like retirement age when she was born.
I mean, they look like they're having a good time. I will give them that. They look like they're in love.
How long does that last?
That's what
right?
I'm saying. Like, when is the honeymoon phase over? Now, traditionally, you'd think that it already would be over, but I just see this happening, like, in the future where it's like, who is this girl on The Bachelorette? Well, remember that girl that dated Bill Belichick that went to UNC?
Right.
Like, that's her at age 30 now. Oh, that was 6 years ago.
Right.
And Bill Belichick's in a home. So, I mean,
and that's the other thing. Is she going to feed him like Yankee bean soup in a wheelchair at some point? Like,
I think they're called skanky beans.
Oh, is it skanky beans? That's probably true, yes.
I have great fears of the skankies.
I mean, like, is this what we're going to, like, it's a weird relationship, and there's nothing wrong with saying that as a 50-year age difference here, folks.
Let live love, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, I will say, like, it is interesting that, we get to the point of, hey, this is going to be on Hard Knocks. There's no NFL team on it. Here's my idea. It's been a good run, Hard Knocks.
It's over.
Sometimes shows come to an end. Friends ended. Seinfeld ended. Breaking Bad ended. Hard Knocks. Sorry, but it's over.
When was the last time you thought it was really good?
Gosh.
I watched that AFC North in-season Hard Knocks.
You did?
It was good.
I couldn't. I don't know. I don't know.
I thought
it's not the same.
I thought the Dallas one was interesting. Because I thought Zeke Elliott was kind of fun to watch, like how he went through camp. And that was, because it was Dallas.
But Dallas, no, that was 2 years ago when he said, I like a hot out of the sack. Like that was
Oh, okay. I must be thinking about something different.
I think I'm thinking past too.
Okay.
I swear it was 2 years ago where he was on Hard Knocks and he goes, I like my Whataburger hot out of the sack.
It might have been on Hard Knocks, but I don't know if they were following. Or maybe they've done Dallas twice.
But
Debbie did it once.
But Jerry leans into that kind of stuff, right? You have to have the right guy out there. And being on Hard Knocks and being that guy and being in front of the camera, Jerry Jones loves that kind of stuff. I think what happened is somebody in the NFL told Bill Belichick, if you do this, you'll never coach in this league again. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know what the answer to that question is. But that seemed like a done deal yesterday. It was going to be on Hard Knocks, and all of a sudden there's an about face. Something fishy happened there.
Yeah, it's also like Belichick's cool doing like TV hits and stuff like that, but like not when it's involved in the football season. So I think you're like kind of right. Like it's just like we're gonna do, But Baltimore did it in 2001, Dallas in 2002. Then a weird break. The Chiefs did it in 2007. That was the third season. So they took a 5-year break. I thought that's weird. It says Ravens. It says Ravens 01. Cowboys 02, season 3, 2007 Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow, there was a 5-year break? I didn't remember that at all.
Maybe it's time for another 5-year break. And then Dallas did it again.
They did, yeah.
Cincinnati, season 5. New York Jets did it season 6 in 2010.
That was I'm going to go get a snack. Yeah.
And then there was a special, I don't know, in 2011 they didn't do it. Then it was Dolphins, Bengals, Falcons, Texans, Rams, Bucks, Browns, Raiders, Chargers, Rams, Cowboys. Yeah, 2021, they did Cowboys in Indianapolis in season.
Okay.
So maybe that's the one I'm thinking. Yeah. And then they did a Detroit Lions, Arizona Cardinal in season 2022. They did Miami in season, Jets preseason. Last year they did the Giants off season, Bears Bears preseason, and then they did the AFC North as a division. So ran out of ideas, and maybe it's just time to call it a day. It's
or teams just don't want to do it anymore.
The other thing I want to ask is, I don't think the Chiefs are the only team that does like a franchise.
Right, that's the other thing. All the teams are doing their own.
I don't care
now,
about the AFC North in season. I mean, it's a good idea. I give you that. Like if you're the football, like you just eat, sleep, breathe football, and you want it in like that division. Then
it was good.
But like, imagine when it's like the NFC South's turn.
Oh,
the AFC South.
AFC South.
That too. It's like, well,
NFC West.
Plus, you have Netflix now, right? Like, I know Netflix was around when they first started doing this, but that was when you sent in a request for 3 DVDs, and they sent you back 2 that maybe you could get.
Right.
Or you went to Redbox at McDonald's when you got a Happy Meal and you put in $1 and you got back a DVD that was maybe in stock or not. But yeah, I think there's a lot of like franchises out there. You have the quarterback, the wide receivers. You have football on 4 nights a week.
Yeah, like maybe it's just too much. You know,
maybe, and it's just not as it's just gone stale.
Yeah, it has, and I don't have a problem with that. Like I said, I haven't watched Hard Knocks in a while. It's never kind of been a show that I needed to have. And I think the last one I truly watched episode was the Atlanta Falcons one, and then that kind of lost me because for a while there you were getting that inside stuff that you didn't see before, and then everybody started to get all buttoned up, and afraid to say anything, and it turned out like everything else does in the NFL stale.
I will say I do remember the 2019 Oakland Raiders because that was the Antonio Brown year. They got him in the offseason.
Oh, and that's right, with the feet and all that stuff.
And he wouldn't wear his helmet because like, the helmet was weird.
That's right.
And then he ran outside of his house like when he got signed by the Raiders, like super excited, and it was like, oh, this guy's might be a little off.
Yeah.
And then the rest was
the rest is history. Now you just watch him on X, formerly Twitter, and see. I mean, he's out there.
Yeah. And then other than that, man, I didn't really watch a whole lot outside of the Chiefs. And I was like, because the one I remember about the Chiefs, they They tied Bo up to the goalpost and then poured ice inside the tape.
Yeah, back when you could haze, you know.
Yeah, and then Herm Edwards said he wanted all the rookies to go get him some fresh Krispy Kreme donuts.
That's right.
And they better come back with a full box. If there was one missing or they weren't fresh, you had to go back and get a new box. And they were still up in Twin Falls and then, right?
Yeah,
for sure they were.
Falls, yeah.
07.
Yep. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. They didn't move. I think Haley's first year was their last year in River Falls, and then they came back and they went to New Orleans, St. Joe, New Orleans, St. Joe,
St. Joe.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Well, Uncle D's would probably fit right in.
It would fit right into New Orleans.
Yeah,
Guy with a fake leg, smoking a cigarette. That's New Orleans, man, right there. Did you ever Uncle D's?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I got sent down there like early on.
You did get sent.
I went there. There was a guy still asleep in a booth, and the place reeked of cigs. And I was like, this is my place.
Cigs, Fabuloso, and a guy passed out. And that was just Binkley's side of the bar.
Yeah, Binkley loved it.
Loved it.
I mean,
I've never seen anybody love anything more than that guy loved Uncle D's.
I mean, he had the tower of beers.
I mean, that guy was holding court like it was nobody. He moved into that place.
There's a really good way to persuade Binkley on your side. Just give him free food and drinks, and he'll. It's the Ritz-Carlton.
It is.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? They give you free towers, Dust Man. When you get a free tower of beer, you can't have a bad time. It's kind of true. He'd take me anywhere. The Hampton Inn, the Best Western, Uncle D's. You give me 3 free beer towers, guarantee you by 10 p.m. at night, it looks like it's the best place on earth.
Yeah. And then he had some like really bad nachos there that were named after Binkley or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Like it looked like Binkley's like onion platter. Or maybe I'm just thinking of Binkley trying to cook. Either way.
Oh, there was the COVID year where he tried to cook, and there's a picture of just a quesadilla thrown on the floor.
Yeah, that thing was
He said,
awful.
I couldn't even figure this out. It was a quesadilla slid on the floor.
Oh, it was awful.
It is his birthday, by the way. At 3 Guys in the Garage, send him a leprechaun GIF, and then say happy birthday to the one and only Mr. Jay Binkley.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jay.
Somebody's kind of with you on the text line with the Hard Knocks. It says, used to be a lot more raw, and its strength was its contrast to the polished NFL content we were fed on TV exclusively before that.
Exactly. That's what was different about it. Everything is so just blah in the NFL when players and coaches speak. They tell you nothing. It's just word salad after word salad. Hard Knocks guys had kind of the guard down a little bit, and it was more real, and you got to kind of see kind of more stuff. And then as the years went on, everybody became, blah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it just ran out of steam for me. Something that's running out of steam is the secondary for the Philadelphia Eagles. James Bradbury's been released.
Oh, well, they're getting rid of him too, huh?
So no Slay, no Bradbury. Like we say, when you win a Super Bowl, you're not really judged on winning it. You're judged on how long you could stay relevant and can you do it again. I always love the line from Jordan to the Big Three in Boston when they won that title, which was Garnett, Allen, and Pierce. He said, "Yeah, it's cool to win one. One, you're a fluke. Two, you're the truth." Philadelphia went to 1, lost Kansas City, took a year off, came back, beat Kansas City. Now they're having that turnover with their roster. Sirianni's taken his seat and completely cooled it down. And now you have some more trust in Philadelphia, but you are losing some key pieces in your secondary.
You are. It's all about how you respond and how you answer the pieces that you lost. Will you be like Brett Veach and backfill and not miss a beat, or will it take you down a notch and you won't be able to recover? And, who knows? So, but this is what happens when you win championships. It's kind of why we've been very lucky around here. We haven't really had to pay that Super Bowl tax, as they like to call it, right? Where everybody has to go about their separate ways and get their money. We've been able to keep the people we want, move on from the people we really didn't want, around here. But I feel like, with Philadelphia, there's going to be some more hard decisions that they're going to have to make. Eventually, their quarterback's going to have to get paid. Eventually, you may kick more money towards Saquon Barkley and whatever. So you've got some questions that you have to answer. How are you going to respond from winning the Super Bowl? Are you going to just kind of sit back and enjoy it, or are you going to continue to work like the Royals did in 2014 after they lost in Game 7? It was back to work.
Right after you win a Super Bowl, it's
the off season's here.
Yeah, and you're thinking to yourself, oh wow, Bradbury's gone, Slay's gone, Sweat's probably gone. I don't know if they're going to give him a contract.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone.
So that's 3 key players on their defense that helped them win that Super Bowl. And it's like, okay, are we just going to go back to 8-9 next year? Are we going to be 14-3? Are we going to have a dominating team? Because look, that division is clearly one of the biggest focus points in the offseason.
Huge focus point this offseason.
Right? Like, there's a chance that Aaron Rodgers goes to the Giants.
Right.
Dallas, we don't know what the hell's going on with them other than a wet biscuit. Washington added Deebo Samuel, still have a ton of money left over. They got the Rookie of the Year reigning as their quarterback.
Right. They should add Darius Slay. Just for Eagles knowledge alone, they should add Darius Slay. They need corners, too. They have a terrible secondary.
And they got a defensive head coach.
Yep. They should add Darius Slay. They have so much
He's
money.
34 years old, though. I mean,
But you got money for to give him a 1-year deal.
One-year
what he wants.
deal. Tell us everything you know about this Eagles offense and what they like to do. Let's go. Teach our young guys. I don't
Not
want James
everybody
Bradbury.
the whole teaching of the young guys thing. I'm out on. Alex
Okay.
Smith is an anomaly on that kind of stuff. These guys are trying to take your job. I'm not sorry. Like I'm an NFL player. Like that's
You don't think
fantasy.
Kelsey's doing that
land.
with anybody?
I think at this point in time, there's certain players that may be, but you want to continue your career. You're battling these guys every. They should teach them why, so they can take their job. Yes, unselfish players like Alex Smith, who was guaranteed $80 million and knew he was going to get cash and all that, did a great job with that. And then got Aaron Rodgers, who's like, I want nothing to do with that. And Brett Favre, I want nothing to do with that. Most of these guys act like that. It's not their job, really, to teach the next generation. It would be nice. It's an altruistic thought, but that's not really the way the world works.
Lasers from the text line. Bradbury and Slay irrelevant.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, they're old. I mean, that's
They're old.
good. I mean,
But they said they're releasing old veterans because they have different number because they have drafted well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quentin Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, addition by subtraction for their secondary.
Yeah, 2 first-round picks in the corner position last year.
But now
So it
those
makes
guys
sense.
don't have any veteran leadership in that secondary.
It's true.
So now it's like you're on your own.
Yep, you got 1 year.
We trust you.
I would trust him. I would trust Cooper DeJean.
I just hate that his greatest highlight of his entire career comes against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And his rookie season.
Easy pick 6.
Either way, pick 6 and
I
took it to the
know.
house.
Threw it right to him.
And I mean, rookie. Somebody says Vinny's doing it right now with Jack Caglione. I mean,
I hope so.
I mean,
I love that.
That's the thing is like with sports and figures in sports, it's hard to have them understand how the life works. Like, hey man, there's a chance you might get injured. Do you mind teaching this kid a couple things in case that does happen? What happens if he's really good? Well, just stay healthy. I mean, I get it, why it's well, nobody taught me, but if you have that mindset, that's why you have a bad franchise. That's what leads your franchise down that negative hole is when you have athletes like that you don't know who they are, and then all of a sudden it's well, that guy didn't teach me. I remember when the Steelers drafted Mason Rudolph. I'm not saying Mason Rudolph is never going to be anything.
Well, Roethlisberger wanted no part of that. Though.
Yeah, he was because I remember this very well. Roethlisberger had hinted at retirement, and then the Steelers came out were like, "We're thinking about drafting a quarterback," and then he's like, "Well, I don't think I'm done yet." And then they were like, "Well, if you're not done, we kind of plan on you being the guy that teaches Mason Rudolph the way." And Roethlisberger's like, "Nobody taught me. Why would I teach him?"
Yeah, I mean,
and it's whoa, dude.
That's the thing, though. I mean, the majority of guys are like that. We just hear about the ones, this guy led me the way and showed me this, and there's outliers to all of these conversations. But the majority of guys you talk to off the record, I don't want to teach that guy. That guy's trying to take my job.
Took her jabs. Don't forget, come join us on Friday, March 28th, start at 6 p.m. at Hollywood, Kansas Casino. Question and answers with Michael Massey and Kyle Isbell with Josh Fernier starts at 6. Meet and greet at 6:45. To follow that, plus it's free and open to the public. We will not call them the Yankees all year.
I guess we will not know. It's been
rebranded.
Rebranded. The ESPN family of networks, Buster Olney, was interviewing some woman in the crowd at a spring training game about the Orioles.
Here you go. Give me a prediction about the American League East. Who's going to win it?
I have great fears of the Skankies because they're loaded. They'll buy their way out of anything.
Praise be to that old lady, baby.
I have
Praise
great fears
be.
of the Skankies.
You don't call them anything else the rest of the year.
Nope, that's it.
Big series coming up this weekend against the Skankies because they buy anything they want.
That is so good.
I have great fears of the Skankies.
Not a chance will I call them anything other than that.
Great fears.
Oh, she just it's just
Here
commonplace.
you go. Give me a prediction about the American League East. Who's going to win it?
I have great fears of the Skankies because they're loaded. They'll buy their way out of anything.
So good. It's just,
She just
so
keeps
priceless.
on going.
Yeah. I had great fears of the Skankies.
I have great fears of the Skankies.
Love it.
I think a lot of people do.
That's your rivalry right there, Boston or Baltimore and New York with the Skankies. I love it, man. You got to have that. What other teams have nicknames?
The Bungles.
The Bungles is a good one.
The Donkeys.
The Aints.
The Donkey. The Aints.
The
That's
Aints.
another good one. The Ets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Do we have one for the Chargers? I did.
Chargering, I think.
Chargering.
Chargering is kind of their nickname, right?
You're
You're Raidering.
Yes.
You know, you get that as well.
Yeah, somebody says she gets the week off.
Yeah, she really does.
Some slight news out of the NFL world. The Jets have given permission to veteran wide receiver Alan Lazard to seek a trade per sources. Wow. Jets also are open to bringing him back to the team. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you for the most pointless tweet of all time.
Yeah, that's a word salad right there. They're either going to get rid of him or he's going to be back. You don't say.
Yeah, they've given him permission to seek a trade, but they would also like to bring him back.
Did you stop your by tweeting that out, or did you wait?
Nah, I don't know if there's any movement downstairs for that one.
Who knows?
If Rodgers goes to the Giants, we will finally get our Rodgers versus Mahomes matchup 5 years too late. Nah, one of them won't play.
Is anybody like, if that does happen and he does go to the Giants and it does, like, is anybody going to care at this point in time that it's Mahomes versus Rodgers?
No. They'll make it a thing.
They'll try.
They'll try really hard.
They will.
Yeah.
Whatever network has that game will try to hype this thing up. But, like, it should have been 5 years ago when Jordan Love's mom sat in the last row at Arrowhead. Like, that should have been the moment, right? Yeah. And it just hasn't happened, and I don't think anybody cares to see it. Like, I think for most people, the fan base around the NFL, I say this now because it's March, it may change in a week, but it feels like everybody's just kind of done with Aaron Rodgers now from an NFL standpoint, right? I think they're over his appearances on McAfee. I think they're over his performances. I think they're just over him in general.
Well, you talk about stuff going stale. I mean, it's only entertaining as far as it can go.
Yeah.
And then eventually it just kind of runs out. I'm trying to see when the Royals do play the Skankies this year.
Picturing the montage of Giants Chiefs trying to
they play
hype up Rodgers and Mahomes.
I have great fears of the Skankies.
The Royals play at the Skankies April 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Early.
So early Skankies.
So it's going to be cold and snowing. Perfect weather for baseball.
Early Skanky battle. So.
Yeah.
Which means they won't play them again until probably like July in Kansas City.
Do you know
June 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th is when they play the Skankies at home.
Here's baseball in a nutshell. The White Sox and Angels play each other in the first series of the year.
In Chicago.
Correct. That's right.
Yeah, of course. We play the Cleveland Guardians 19 times, and we're opening the season in Kansas City against Cleveland.
That's exactly right. Yes. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Anaheim versus Chicago on the south side of Chicago in a snowstorm.
You think this is a sellout? June 14th on a Saturday, Bobby Witt's record breaker bobblehead giveaway?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only a sellout if you can say it right. And then Tuesday night versus the Skankies, 6:40, Dollar Dog Night.
Ooh.
So you can get a glizzy and watch the Skankies. That does not sound like a baseball game. Coming up on the other side, we wrap this show up on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City's baseball.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
I just want to say how awesome it is to have Bob Fescoe and Legend Likens on every morning to start my day. I freaking love you guys.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Here is your Game of the Week, presented by Hyundai. Another iteration of the league's biggest rivalry this weekend as Los Angeles travels to Boston. While Boston looks to maintain their spot in the East, Los Angeles will look to make a late-season push to improve their seeding for the postseason. Led by one of the greatest to ever do it, will LA be able to pull off the upset against a young, hungry Boston team? Here's a riddle for you. What do yoga mats, a toothbrush, and a Hyundai have in common? I'll give you a moment. Time's up. If you guessed they're all fun, well-designed, and super useful, you guessed wrong. The answer is you can order all those things on Amazon. And the best part, you won't even have to break down a car-sized Amazon box after because you'll pick up your Hyundai at the dealer. Hyundai, now available on Amazon. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. Limited availability. Pick up through participating Hyundai dealers in select markets. Now you can buy a new Hyundai at Amazon. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for more details.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pheasants Forever's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to the Kansas City Convention Center this March 7th through the 9th. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, pollinator and wildlife habitat hunting gear in the 20th anniversary of Quail Forever. It's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic the weekend of March 7th. Presented by Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever, and Federal Ammunition. For more information, log on to pheasantfest.org.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Past results afford no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. My team knows injury law. We can help you understand all of your legal rights so that you don't get cheated.
DM Law knew what to do and got me $350,000.
Mike's got this.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Get ready for the NAIA Men's College Basketball Championship, March 20th through the 25th at Municipal Auditorium in KC. 16 teams, 15 games, 6 days, 1 national champion. Don't miss out on nonstop college basketball action. Budget-friendly tickets are available now at NAIAHoops.com.
Forgot about a nickname, the Twinkies.
Ah, that's a good one, yeah.
So, that was another one that we missed because the Royals and the Skankies.
That's right.
Early on games.
I have great fears of the Skankies.
I would too.
I love that lady.
Yeah, the way she looks in that video is kind of cool. You know she's cool too.
Yeah.
She's got that vibe. That chill. I mean, if you're going on live TV with Buster Olney, knowing that he's on ESPN, be like, yeah, Skankies. Play it and run it. That's all you need to do.
You think Buster Olney got like uncomfortable because they took a shot at the Yankees?
Until
you can't talk about that.
He probably was uncomfortable for like 2 minutes, and then like his producer got in his ears like, dude, that's gonna go viral. And he's like, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet man.
He's a good insider. He's not like some of these guys in the NFL. Jordan Schultz finally broke his silence.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. He's a quote on 670 to Score, our sister station in Chicago. What happened between Ian and I probably had been brewing for quite some time, Schultz said. I just felt like I needed to say what I said and make clear that I didn't appreciate the way he was talking about me. I felt I did that. Obviously, you saw the photo. I don't think the photo was particularly intimidating. Regardless of how you view it, I just felt like it was an important thing to say, important to get off my chest. I thought I did it. Hopefully, we can move forward. Is NFL security still investigating?
No.
Is Ian still crying to his mom?
No. He got what he wanted.
What did he get? Because he looks like a D-bag in all of this. Jordan Schultz looks like the hero.
Well, everybody flipped it on Jordan Schultz. Everyone's like, oh, the Fortune 500 baby gets mad because he didn't get what he wanted or something. It's like because his dad used to be the CEO of Starbucks. So
okay, well, it had nothing to do with it. What Jordan Schultz is doing has nothing to do with what his dad did. Jordan Schultz's credibility was brought into,
But that's the whole thing is like that's where they start. It's like the only reason he has his job is because his dad, he got him into the field. So then he just kind of like bought his way in, where it's like, who knows how Schefter got his job? I don't know his backstory, but that's just what I'm just giving you what I was told.
No, but I'll play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
What did Harold Schultz of Starbucks buy to get Jordan Schultz on there. I don't see Starbucks as a big NFL partner. Not like FedEx, and that's how that guy Arthur Smith got involved. Now, that's exactly how Arthur Smith got his job. You want to start talking about people who got jobs that don't deserve them. Arthur Smith's dad was the head of FedEx. That's how he got a job in the NFL.
I did not know this was good. I'm just giving you what I was told.
No,
read.
But I mean, like, I resent when people say that. You know better. Yeah, you know what? It's not what you know. It is who you know. Like, that's the real world. Like,
the only reason Gold and Mac are at 96.5 is because of their dad.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
that's
right.
exactly right.
But that's how it works. It's never about what you know. It's always been about who you know. And if people have connections and they utilize them, oh well, stop being jealous. Work better. I mean, I don't know what to tell. I hate that. Like, oh, he's only there because his dad ran Starbucks. Really?
Well, it's like Shaq said. He could have been just handed a million franchises and been doing nothing, but instead he was like, you know what? I'm going to go carve out my own career and make a way.
Yeah.
So Shaq kind of called him out and was like, you know what? I know Jordan. I love Jordan. Anyone kind of talking crap, this is a guy who's worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
So
right, exactly. He could have gone and just sat on the fortune and been in charge of a Starbucks. He's doing nothing coffee related.
Shaq's also the same guy that told his kids, if you want to get my money when I die, go get a degree in college.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, Shaq kind of knows when he's talking.
Like, there's nothing wrong with using your connections and using the people that you're close to help you. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what Gunnar Fieri does, which I can't stand on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And then also Jack Collinsworth.
There's a couple there that are cringe, right? Jack Collinsworth is very cringe. And I'm with you about Guy Fieri's kid.
Gunnar! Or whatever his name is. I think I call him Gunnar, but I think his name's Hunter.
Hunter. That's what it is. It's Hunter, yes.
And I'm getting off on a tangent. Seeing the show, so deal with it. I watch Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I watch Championship, whatever, cooking with him on it now on Sunday nights, and Guy's Grocery Games. And anytime Gunnar comes on there, I'm just like, oh,
yeah, I feel kind of the same way as you.
I'm like, I get it, Guy. I understand he's your kid. You love him to death. You want him to have a future, but it's like nothing's taken off yet. Nothing's going to take off. He's been doing this for 3 years. And like he gets on the show and his dad's like, oh, that's the mayor of Flavortown. That thing should be out of bounds. And then his son's like, it's really good. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah,
like,
there's not a lot of adding on to that. And look, whatever it is, that's fine. I would love to be in position where I could help out my kids and do stuff like that for them, like Guy Fieri's doing for his kids and whatnot. That's what you should do. That's your job as a parent, to help your kids out the best way that you possibly can. And
but maybe also let them know in a nice way, like, hey, you might not do what I do, but we need a social media president. Like, why don't you do that? It pays very well, and I'll make sure you get paid very well.
Right.
Yeah, Tournament Champions is bomb. It is awesome.
So, it happens all the time. But Jordan Schultz, man, maybe he had an in, but he's taken that in and he's created who he is all by himself. I didn't know until this incident took place that he was the founder of Starbucks Kid. I had no idea.
Nope.
No idea.
Well, nobody knew that. That's why it was the number one thing that came out once everyone jumped. I will say is, this lets you know how big the shield is in sports and in the media, that Ian Rappaport acted like a little bee and he came out smelling like a rose.
Yeah.
It's like he is the shield. He's the guy. Like, he's the absolute person that gets you. Like, I think this is tough, actually, to have this debate. Maybe this could be our poll question tomorrow. Who do you listen to more, Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport? Because ESPN, NFL, right? Like, kind of the same thing. But if most people are like, oh, I set my reminders for Schefter or I set my reminders for Rappaport. I think more people tend to like Rappaport than they do like Schefter, but maybe this kind of diluted that. But also, this is just the shield protected by everything.
Yeah.
Like, Schultz confronts a guy for debunking his, tweet that he got from his source that told him everything he had. And since he works so high up, he pulled rank.
Yeah.
And he said, actually, it's not true. And he said, hey, man, we need to talk. And then he obviously said, no, we don't. And he goes, yeah, we effing do. I'm calling security. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but having if somebody questions your credibility, have you ever had like your credibility or your job questioned like that
Just
guy
by
did?
friends.
Yeah, but nothing like that where this becomes a public incident where another insider's debunking your thing and trying to minimize who you are and minimize what you do for a living. If I was Jordan Schultz, I'd have popped the guy probably. I mean, like, you're now ruining my
But then
livelihood.
what does that do for you for popping a guy who's 5'4" and just types on a keyboard? Like,
I know. But I don't know why it's flipped where Ian Rappaport is now the star in all of this and not Jordan Schultz, because usually we fight against the grain type of thing, and the NFL shield is protecting Ian Rappaport when he went out there and tried to belittle Jordan Schultz. Not a fan.
Somebody says using connections is different than your daddy pulling some strings. For sure. For sure. And
Absolutely.
those examples we gave you were some that were just given opportunities and some that have like made their opportunities. Someone says
6 is Steve Irwin's kid.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's called like Crikey with the the Irwins.
Yes.
Is the kid good?
Yes.
He's awesome.
He's great.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
energetic
awesome.
like his dad.
Yes.
God, Steve Irwin.
Do you guys watch HGTV at all? Did you with like Tarek and Christina? Remember they were.
I remember Bob Vila.
Well, he's gone now, but
He's dead?
No, like he's not. I mean, but like,
I was like, not Bob. That's where Matt got his jacket from.
yeah. But they got like Tarek and Christina who were married, then they got divorced, and Tarek marries the exact same looking woman every time he gets remarried.
Yes.
And now they're doing this like divorced face-off thing where they've created this new TV show where they compete against each other. Really cool. But they've always had this contractor on the show called Izzy was his name, right? And now he's got a new show called Izzy Does It. And I'm like, so
nice.
that's how this kind of stuff just seemingly works, man. Like you get the opportunity, you take advantage of the opportunity, you don't pee the opportunity away, and it's able to create you more opportunities. That's living life the right way.
Who was that guy on College Game Day, Bear? And he got like his own, or he got on a show, like Bears Picks, and now he's got a thing on ESPN. You don't remember him?
Yeah, I do remember who you're talking about.
Yeah, now he's on a radio show. He's doing his own thing, not producing anymore.
We didn't talk about the Dallas Mavericks moving. Kyrie Irving just tore his ACL.
He did.
Oh, they thought it was a sprain, but it's a tear.
Breaking news. Breaking news from Shams. Mavericks All-Star Kyrie Irving just suffered a season-ending torn ACL in his left knee. He's done.
In a related story, Dallas has increased ticket prices even more for next season.
Yeah. Got to pay for the surgery, man.
The only player in the NBA averaging at least 20 points, 40% from three, and 90% from the free throw line. The 5th season in his career with those stats.
And his last season in the NBA, because that's a full season recovery. So this is what so he comes back by the playoffs, maybe next year. Playoffs.
You're talking about it, yeah, and it's really not fully recovered for about 2 years till your brain starts running.
And
so
it's a court sport.
I think.
It's even longer, maybe. You know.
Max, like I have hope.
No, I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He tore his ACL. We're not going to see him
Here's
for
where
at
we play
least
that game.
18 months.
How old is Kyrie Irving?
18 months.
That's what he said.
By the time he gets back to where he was yesterday,
Okay, got you.
Did
Fair,
I
fair.
stutter?
Fair, absolutely. Till we see him back on the court.
A year.
10, probably, yeah.
Damn. So Bill Belichick says no to Hard Knocks. Bradbury and Slay are gone. Godwin doesn't get the tag. Dallas Mavericks increased tickets, may move, probably will move. Myles Garrett's going to sign with one of 32 NFL teams.
No, 31 NFL
sorry.
teams.
Yeah, 31.
Aaron Rodgers may be a giant. T. Higgins got the tag for the second consecutive year.
And the Royals are going to have a roundtable with Vern, with Massey and Isbell
That's
on
right.
Friday, March 28th. We'll all be there. It's free. It starts at 6, Q&A at 6:45. That was all on a Tuesday.
That was a big Tuesday.
And
They play the Skankies.
They play the
in April.
Skankies.
They play the Skankies in April.
I have great fears of the Skankies.
That's a June slate. I mean, that's a June slate. The Skankies. Sign me up. Maybe that's when you do the Glizzy Challenge, when they play the Skankies. Because they're just not nice people. But you can go do something nice for somebody on this rainy, cloudy day. It could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It is simply cool to care. Kansas City, most importantly, stay safe and stay kind, but also stay dry and stay here on 96.5 The Fan. Cody, Gold, and Drew coming up next from 10 to 2.